Welcome to Checking In, and welcome to the World Apocalypse.
That's right, baby.
How are you guys doing? You guys holding up?
I'm surviving.
You're surviving?
I'm fine.
Yeah, you kind of just barricade yourself in the room. I haven't seen you in about a week. It's been about a week since I've seen you. I didn't know you were still alive. I was like, maybe Noah got the corona.
No, I mean, honestly, the work computer broke, so I'm already in self-quarantine.
Right.
Self-quarantine,
prior to everything.
Which doesn't make any sense because, your work computer broke. We got it fixed. Mm-hmm. And it lasted less than a day. Good job, Apple.
Thanks, guys.
It didn't last a day because the day I got it, there was issues. But I just went through the day because I wasn't going to take it back that day. And then I was just like, well, maybe it'll work itself out. Didn't have to take it back, but it's whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, now...
Apple has not been functioning clearly because China's been shut down.
Well, yeah, but repairing a computer doesn't seem like they would need China, but that
they need the parts.
All their parts come from China.
Yeah, I guess so.
They literally have like 6-year-old kids over there making motherboards.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
That's the problem.
Yeah, there you go. Well, so anyways, guys, I mean, obviously, we're going to not make this a apocalyptic type of a podcast, but I do think we want to touch on a couple things, get it out of the way, and then Laura's saying no.
You want to, but
I think it's important. I mean, because this is the thing. I mean, seriously, first off, obviously, we are closed at the Reptarium.
Yeah, we are not open to the public.
We're not open to the public at the Reptarium.
Right now, at least for the next 2 weeks, we've said, and then we'll keep going.
I think it's, my gut feeling is we're looking at 4 to 6 weeks.
Probably, but we don't know that yet. We know
we'll
for
go a
sure
couple weeks
2
at a time. Yeah,
and then we'll just go from there.
Yeah, but I think what's going to end up happening with everything, school, pretty much society as a whole, is that everyone has this couple week thing. But the truth is that it's going to take about, that bell curve that takes for viruses, it's going to take 3 to 4 weeks to probably peak. One of the things that we could probably keep a close eye on, and those of you guys that are watching from in America, you can really look at Italy. And we're about a week behind Italy. So when Italy peaks and starts to fall, we're probably a week away from that. So we're probably a few weeks away. Anyways, I want to make sure that not only with this podcast, but also the daily vlog and everything else that people, know that we're going to be there for them and that it's going to be okay. You know what I mean? It sucks. It's terrible for everyone included, but we will make it through it.
That's
and
right.
We'll get to the other side, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not the end. People are acting like it is, but it's not.
People act like it is when there's a snowstorm too, man. It gets crazy. This is a little more wild, but
this is very wild. I mean, it's unprecedented. Obviously, we've never seen anything like this in our lifetime. But guys, just stay safe. And this is my thoughts: is that I don't know if we're overreacting.
No.
With shutting everything down and doing that stuff. I have no idea, but I heard a quote yesterday that I thought was pretty interesting, saying that we're never going to know if we overreacted, but if we underreacted, we would certainly know, right? So I think that...
err on the side of caution, right?
Yeah, we're going to err on the side. I think, and now that we're in this state, I think that now it's just a matter of let's rip the Band-Aid off, let's get this over with. Because we could do this one of two ways. We could either just prolong this for the next 3 months, by continuing to get together socially and stuff like that, not adhering to the social distancing, or we can just eat it, stay kind of out of the mainframe of people, and I think in the next few weeks we'll see a peak and we'll see a fall off, and we'll start to slowly get back. I mean,
there's a couple funny things that are happening with this thing, in my opinion. I think that's kind of funny.
Sure.
Is that in Florida, obviously, this is like spring break season, baby. You know what I mean? People want to have fun. People want to party, blah, blah, blah. Here, there's like cops and stuff patrolling, making sure that kids don't party at colleges.
Yeah.
But in Florida, like on the beaches and stuff, you can still go. They're just like, hey, social distance yourself. The beaches are fucking packed.
Dude. Yeah.
They're
My mom
packed.
said too.
It's so funny. It's just like people really don't care, which is like whatever. Like, I mean, I'm not in Florida, so I don't have to worry about that. But that's funny. And then also there was one other thing that was just like, it kind of freaked me out a little bit. It was just like, whoa, I hope that doesn't happen here. And again, this is like one of the things with social media. You really never know if it's true. But if it's the only thing you see, then you're gonna think it is true. And I saw this thing about San Francisco, and again, you really digest a lot of this a lot more than I do.
Sure.
So maybe you heard if this is true or not. In San Francisco, supposedly there's like a 14-day,
Yeah, shelter in
24-hour
place. Yeah, shelter in
thing
place.
where
yeah.
you can only
Yeah.
go to like the grocery store, the bank, and
Yeah.
then
gas station stuff like
gas.
that. Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, although I saw some video yesterday of San Francisco people like jogging and,
okay.
and like
So
going
that's not
about their day.
real.
By the way, I saw our boy Mike over at the jeweler guy said, "What's up, guys? Probably won't have a job soon." Well, hey, dude, that is the bigger issue, right? Is that this is hurting people on a level that is ridiculous. I
Yeah.
mean, my brother doesn't have a job. Many people I know don't have jobs now.
Does my aunt, sister, your
So
sister?
far, yes, but that's coming. It's coming down the pike soon, right? My sister lives in Hawaii. She works for the Hawaii Hilton. Shout out Hawaii Hilton. And
So I
and
guess there's a difference, though.
Yeah.
There's a difference between being out of a job and just being on leave. The Hilton is not going out of business.
well, no, I think most
Now,
people will.
Sometimes your brother works for a restaurant. That is to be determined
Yeah.
because depending how long it is, some restaurants might not be able to make it through.
Yeah.
Big hotel chains are going to.
Yeah,
be
I think
back.
that a lot
you
of
know.
people will probably have a job once this is over.
Right.
It's just that they're not going to have income
Right,
the
for
next
as
bit.
long as
and
it
and
lasts,
obviously
right.
there's economic stimulus that's being presented right now that to help people get through the next month or two. Hopefully that'll help. But it is a tragedy, and we certainly. I mean, I know we all feel horrible for what's happening. I mean, that's one of the reasons why us here, we told all our crew that no one's going to get their hours cut. Everyone's going to get paid, even though we're not open that 15 hours a week. So that's a number of employees that are working 15 less hours at the Reptarum. And of course, the Reptarum isn't making any money now or very little money. But we're still going to keep all of those hours, just distribute them in different areas. So our crew at least doesn't have to take a financial hit. We will be taking a financial hit, obviously, but we'll survive it. And it's. I guess what I'm saying is that I think that before we move on to other things, is that number one, I think that in this time of uncertainty, in the time that everyone's life has been kind of thrown into a tizzy, most people around the world, but not all people. I just heard in Europe today that some schools were just closing today, which is shocking because our schools have been closed for a while. And some places are just now starting to do the social distancing. And obviously Michigan has been pretty ahead of the curve when it comes to shutting restaurants and bars and all the other stuff down. Some states still haven't done that even. But most people have been thrown into the state of where the routine is off. So I think it's important for me at least, and I maybe hear what you guys think. I think it's important for us to keep our vlog going, so there's some consistency.
For sure.
There's important to keep the podcast going, to keep our life going, so that at least there's some consistency in life, not only for us, but also I think that the other thing is that I want to take this time to catch up on some things that we want to catch up on, spend some more family time, where we're not working late nights. Not that this is a good thing at all, but you might as well try to make the best of a horrible situation.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what, I mean, I don't know, maybe you think I'm crazy, but that's kind of, yesterday I was stressed out. You know that, Lori, right? I was flipping out yesterday because, the reality of, oh my gosh, we're not going to have any income coming in from,
Well, I think
things.
that's the problem, and that's honestly part of why I really don't even want to talk about it, because literally this is all anybody is seeing and hearing and living.
Yep.
And I think people need a break from it.
Well, I mean, they may
You know,
need a break, but
because that's all it does. All it does is all this stuff
Stress.
just feeds into all the anxiety, all the stress.
Yeah,
all
but
the
I don't-
whatever.
I-
I think
I
it's
dis-
good to have
yeah.
something else.
Well, I think
to
we
listen
we can
to.
definitely talk this about something else, but I think you're wrong if you think that we should just pretend like it doesn't exist. As a matter of fact, that would be the worst thing we could do right now, because people would be like, what a bunch of assholes. They don't even recognize that we're suffering out here. I think that would be, don't you agree that if we just, you know what, fuck the coronavirus, we don't need to, I think that's not the message we want to send. I think the message we want to send is we understand and we feel your pain, and we're going to try to be there for you to get you through this pain. And we don't have to spend an hour talking about it. I just wanted to address it. Not to mention, I'm sure people do want to know what our take is. I mean, obviously our reptile zoo is shut down. I mean, our life
and
is changing.
That's
We
also
can't just pretend.
not by personal choice. We can't open.
Well, but you're wrong about that, because we
What?
made the choice to close before we were not allowed to open. I made the choice prior to the mandate, okay? I made the personal choice, and you know this, right, Lori? We could still have 50 people in our place when
Yeah.
I decided to shut down.
No, yeah, but I'm just saying like that. You know what I'm saying?
No, what I'm just saying is that it wasn't like we're being forced. Now we'd be forced.
No, yeah.
But I'm saying that that was a decision I think we made as a business, thinking it was the best decision to keep our employees safe, our family safe, and our patrons safe, right? So So, I mean, I guess, I'm an asshole for talking about Corona. I'm sorry. So that's that.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Well, whatever. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, other than it sounds like you guys are upset at me because I brought it up, but I think it's a pretty important thing in life right now.
No, I don't think so, but I think that, there's whatever.
All right. So Logan says, when are you going to get a croc monitor? When are you getting the croc monitor? Obviously, I think you guys know that, the croc monitor was coming from my friend Forrest, who passed away. We were originally talking about maybe going down to visit Desiree and Lars, Forrest's wife and son. And at that time, we were probably going to get the croc monitor as well. Obviously, traveling now is stupid. You know what I mean? It's
she's got a little kid.
She's got a little kid. We can't take that.
It's not the smartest thing to do right now. Definitely, we will hook up with them as soon as we can.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing, right? In the grand scheme of everything that's going on in the world, no less than Forrest passing away. I mean, the last thing that's important to me is getting his croc monitor.
Oh,
you know?
And honestly, it's more important to actually see and visit with them than getting the animal.
No, yeah, I mean, we want to go see, and I talked to Desiree a couple days ago, and it was nice that she had said, hey, in all honesty, I don't want to see hardly anybody, but I am looking forward to you and Lori coming, because I know that we're very close, and they were a big part of our life, and I think that it'll be good for us and good for Desiree to go down and visit. But obviously, right now, not only is it probably not prudent for us to travel, but certainly not putting them in jeopardy either, So,
and I guess talking on that topic too, I know there's a few things, and this is the thing. As with anything, I say, do your research before you donate to anything.
Right.
But I think there are several like fundraisers or this or that going on to support, to give to Desiree in Forrest's honor. And I just throw it out there. Hey, anything that's like that, look it up, make sure it's good and legitimate, because unfortunately there's assholes out here who take advantage, but
I think
if you want to support them, definitely do it.
There's two things right now happening, and we'll put a link in the description to both of these, please, Noah.
Just let me know where they are.
And these are sanctioned, or not sanctioned, but these are, Desiree sent me the links. There's an auction going on Facebook right now with hundreds of things. That's all the proceeds are going to the family. And then for a sister, which set up a GoFundMe. And those are the two places. And we actually will have a vlog in about 2 days, 3 days tops, that I've already filmed about Forrest. And that will have the links in those as well. And obviously, it took me a little while to talk about Forrest for two reasons. One was the fact that we're pretty busy, with getting the thing open, and I was mentally not ready either. I was, I have this thing where like I had to put it out of my brain because I knew that I had to get the Reptarium open, and I knew, and it was very difficult. So I had to almost like compartmentalize it. I couldn't not think about it, but at the same time, I knew, like I said in this vlog that will be coming out, Forrest would have been so proud of what we're doing. This is what he wanted to do.
Definitely. I mean, he loves the animals, and he would have went nuts over some of the stuff we have and the enclosures.
It's also anybody, which I'm sure most people, right, have lost somebody they loved, whether it be family or friend. And, it's true. It's people say it, but, everyone grieves differently.
Yeah.
And, it's something that everyone does do when something tragic like this happens. So, just take it at your own pace.
Yeah.
It's hard. It always is. And it's never going to be easier.
Yeah.
I mean, we lost people years ago, and the pain is still fresh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't get easier, really. Time doesn't really heal it. But
No.
but I think that, like I said, I needed some time to process to the point where I knew what I wanted to how I wanted to talk about it. And
which is okay.
Yeah. And so, I know I even took a little flack, like, I can't believe you're not talking about Forrest yet. And it was a little weird that people would come at me like that. seeing is that, you know, I lost someone that was so close to me, and it just took time.
I'm not surprised. There's people who will do and say anything, you know.
Yeah. You know, it's a bummer. I did see Casey just said, hey, from Tennessee, wanted to make the grand opening, but the travel hysteria happened, and but the online tour, here I come, smart idea. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know,
guys.
listen,
Yeah, and then you can talk about that if you want to.
I mean, the thing that it's a really weird thing. I'll be honest with you. Like, I thought, you know, hey, listen, you know, an online tour of the zoo might be a good option for people that are stuck in their house and something like that. And you know, we struggled a little bit with like what to charge on that, you know, like I didn't know, you know, obviously for those of you guys don't know, we charge $500 an hour to have the zoo to yourself with me, and I'm your tour guide. We charge $100 or $300 for a tour with the keeper. So I thought, you know, I want to make this like a lot less, because obviously you're not getting your personal hands-on, but you know, it's also going to be very personalized. You can ask me anything. You're going to spend an hour with me. So I really thought like $150 for me and $100 for a regular tour was I thought it was almost cheap, to be honest with you. I thought, and I took some abuse online. I mean, like some people saying that I'm a greedy bastard and stuff like that. And I thought, you know, the fact that I'm less than a third of, I'm still spending an hour, whether you're in my shop or not, you know, and normally I'm getting $500 an hour, and whether I'm worth that, that's a whole nother topic. But you know, Lori doesn't think I'm worth it. But
that's not true.
but you know, and I do realize there's a difference between being able to hold stuff and not hold stuff.
Oh,
but that's
sure.
still, it's the same for me though. Like it doesn't change my.
It's the same for
thing.
you.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many online things are out there like that. But like you said, you are literally, this isn't like some pre-recorded thing.
Yeah,
this
you're going to be
live
able,
via, you know,
FaceTime, Skype, or WhatsApp.
So you get to actually choose. It's not like something to where, okay, this is just what happens and walk you around. Hey, you know what? If Perdita's your hey, can I see Perdita? Can I see this, that? Like,
and you can ask me any questions. If you're just like, hey, let's talk about ball python breeding. Let's talk about whatever. It's me. It's not, like you said, and I wonder if maybe some people thought that it was just going to be a pre-recorded tour.
Well,
I mean, no, this is me on a Skype call. And I'm not saying that I'm like worth a ton of money. I don't know what the hell I'm worth, but you know, like, you know, an hour, we still have to pay all our bills. We have to still pay our employees. We still have to pay for, you know, the building and utilities. And really, $150 seemed like it was, I thought people were going to think it was a bargain. Obviously, I was wrong, and I took a lot of abuse.
Let me just say that there are plenty of people who are interested since we did it. So not everybody feels this way, and that's the thing. The haters are going to hate, and even people who, whatever, have opinions, and we need to make our choices, which we do, and...
Yeah, I mean, I don't want anyone to think I'm trying to gouge anyone. I thought I was actually doing a favor, and in turn, it kind of blew up in my face a little bit. But it's all right. I mean, and that's the way it goes. Desiree, I wanted to say hello and hope you guys stay safe, and maybe give Perdita some special pets for me in this hard time, because she's my favorite. For certain, you know, it really, you know, we that's one thing. I mean, more than anything, the animals will come first, right? I mean, well, obviously our family, crew, friends, all come before everything, you know, but it's like I've said, if much like San Francisco, if there's a shelter in place where you're not allowed to go on the street, which I highly doubt that's going to happen, because even the shelter in place, you can still go out and get gas and stuff like that. But I would live at the reptarium. I would move into the reptarium if I couldn't go on the streets, so that the animals could at least be cared for at BHB in the reptarium.
Too, because if we have live animals, then we can go take care of them. You can't tell me the animals in the shelters aren't going to be taken care of. The zoo isn't going to, you know what I mean? That's the difference. And so we'll still be able to.
Right. I was talking to somebody about that, and I was telling them the same thing. It was just like, you know, like, we can't just let the animals die.
Exactly.
Like if
it's
you
not
have
like
to
a party store that you just.
I see that
you know,
Byron says 150 hours for the rich. You know, that's fine. We're not. You don't have to pay anything, Byron. You know, you don't have to do anything. You know, I mean, if you want to do the experience, you pay for it. If you don't have to. It's not like I'm forcing you guys. You guys watch this for free. You know,
there's a lot of things in life that I think, I'd never pay that for, and I don't. But I don't judge the people who do, because guess what? To somebody, that's worth that. Right.
Well, you know, the thing is, like, I kind of made the comparison. Again, I'm not saying I'm worth. I don't want people to think like I think I'm valuable. What I'm saying is that people pay $20 for a 40-second cameo that isn't interactive for me, right? So like I just say, they pay $20 for me to just say, hey, happy birthday, have a great day.
And guess what? Let me
and
just
that
say,
takes me 40
there's
seconds,
nothing wrong with putting a value on yourself. And for somebody else to say that you can't do that, screw them.
Yeah.
You know what?
Well,
Because
it's tough.
everybody has
it's
a
tough. I just
value.
don't want people to think I'm an asshole because, you know what I'm saying? It's like
I know you are like
it's-
that, but the
yeah.
truth of the matter is you got to learn that.
It's hard.
It's tough because I thought, again, it's a bummer because I thought I was doing something nice,
And
it turns out that
and it is a
I
good
took
thing,
abuse.
and a lot of people like it.
Yeah.
And the people who don't have to participate.
Well, I think it gives people an opportunity to think that somehow we're greedy, when in actuality, when you really source out the amount of money we're losing every day now to keep our crew running and everything else is crazy.
There's a lot of people who wanted to come to visit us that can't, that we're still giving that opportunity to come and see.
Yeah.
So we are
whatever. I
providing
mean,
a
like you said,
service.
I'm trying not to get bummed out about it. I really am. It was bothering me a little bit last night when I was getting beat up, but I normally don't care about what people think, right? I normally don't. I really don't have like people can hate all they want because we know the truth, It was kind of like, Carrie and Barros, from KB Reptiles was in and they posted, just a picture at our place saying how nice it was and stuff like that. And one of the comments was, "You better check yourself for mites." Yeah, and of course they responded by,
and I love that.
I
love the fact that asshole said it, and I love their response because their response is exactly that. We have been visiting them for the past 3 years, Reptarium and BHB, and
never seen a mite, never seen six snakes,
exactly. Because you know what? There you go. And then the other guy was, oh, okay, I guess that's good.
No, he
or
responded, well,
something.
you stress your snakes out for entertainment. That's what his response was.
Yeah.
And then they deleted. Then they deleted the thread because they were they said, you can't do that. But it is what it is. Obviously Casey says your time is valuable no matter what. Fuck them. I don't.
All
listen.
right, Casey.
No, but listen, Parker. Let me listen. I don't think it's fuck them. I do. Listen, I value people's opinion, but I don't.
Not that.
No, I value people's opinions, but I'm not going to make them, it's not going to form who I am, right? You know what I mean? Their opinion isn't going to change who I am. And like you said, Carrie and Barros know, they've been here. They know what kind of, they know my heart. They know our heart.
Everybody who's been here knows.
Yeah, and it's just a shame that online, but at the same time, like I said, I don't want to go through, fuck, I don't care. That's neither here nor there, and it is what it is, and people can do whatever.
It is cool though. I mean, I'm not even joking. Like, I would pay $150 to like FaceTime Snoop Dogg for an hour.
That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm
it's just
saying.
like, I don't care if I'm not face to face with them. Like, that would be so cool to have a conversation with Snoop Dogg, and people view you as their Snoop Dogg.
That's what I was
you know
gonna
what
say.
I mean?
I wouldn't Snoop Dogg's good, but I wouldn't pay $150
you gotta
for that
remember-
because it doesn't. But I don't think
everyone has
that it's
different
overpriced.
opinions.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
And you got to
that's
remember that,
life.
like, if Bruce did the 1 hour, that was $100. I was probably giving him 40 of that $100. Plus, he's making his hourly wage.
and that's
So
how
we're
that
only
goes
getting
too, right?
a sliver of that.
Exactly.
So now, with people being negative, it's taking money out of Bruce's pocket.
Right,
You know what I mean?
exactly,
It's like
'cause
I'm
that's
not
the thing
I'm
when
not taking
people-
because someone said that, oh, you're going to pay him $10 an hour and then you're going to get 9. No, not at all. He's going to get his hourly wage and he's
And
going to
he
get,
gets
because when
whatever
Bruce
for
does a
doing the
tour, I give
tours.
him a
Right.
chunk of money every single time, just like we
doesn't
did with you.
matter.
But yeah, whatever. Tyler says, sending love your way. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Tyler. I
Tyler.
appreciate you. John says, love your passion for the animals. Much love from Phoenix. Hey, hope everything's going on well out in Phoenix right now. Parker, hey, Brian, I've been following you for over a year. I look up to you and the work you do. I hope one day I can see the Reptarium and have a tour. I hope you can, man. It's so much fun. My girl, Heavenly Knees. Heavenly Knees.
Heavenly knees.
We always appreciate you, Heavenly. Brian, it's a good price. Your time is worth it, people. Also, Noah's still going to do his podcast with Eric. I think you're doing it,
That
yes?
says without Eric.
but
Oh,
I-
without, yeah.
Yes, I double checked with Eric. We're still doing it on Friday this
Yeah,
week.
and that's the thing, I mean, obviously we won't get into it, but, obviously Eric, moved on, that's fine. And we're still friends. I mean, and we're still letting him, come in and do the podcast with you and be a part of it. And Eric does make money off the podcast. And we're going to continue to allow him to make money. I mean, there's never anything about that.
There was one thing too, which, I did see a comment talking about videos with Eric, and I actually didn't think it was a bad idea, and I'm gonna reach out to him and see what he thinks about it. Was that, you know, maybe every other weekend or something, you know,
You guys
I
can do
go,
a video,
go over to his house and like, you know, film some pieces with him. Like, I really don't think that's that far fetched.
No, and you got to remember, I mean, when someone leaves, we don't have to be enemies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone has the option to do their own thing. And I would have loved, I think, you know, Eric would have loved to have been here. He loved what he did. You know, he didn't hate us. He didn't hate his job. He moved on to an opportunity that was the right decision for his family, and that's fine, right?
And I think that's the whole thing as far as like, his involvement is he is able to be as involved
as he wants
to be and as his schedule does. So if he's not around, it's not for us not putting it out there. It's that he's prioritizing other things. So as much as he wants to be in, he will be and can be. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Eric and Mary both are always part of the family. They're always welcome. They were here for the opening weekend, hanging out with people and stuff like that. It's not, you know, listen, unfortunately, it's the way life is. People work a job. They work as a mechanic. They work as a cook. They work as at a grocery store, and then they move on. I wish they wouldn't. I would love to them to be a part of it, but that's what happens. And you could do one of the things. You could hate each other, or you can be like, hey, that's cool. Good luck to you. We love you. You're friends.
This is the same thing as Chewy.
Right, yeah. Chewy's is, me and Chewy have been friends for 10 years since he's been,
Chewy,
whatever, you know.
Chewy moved on, you know. I mean, and then look, you guys did a effing TV show.
Yeah, I drug him into a TV show. You know, I mean, like, I personally got him on Discovery Channel because I respected him and we had such good time. So that's the same thing. I can't imagine a scenario where Eric and Mary aren't friends with us. And aren't part of it. And I know you two are very close, and I would never, ever, I would do everything to facilitate that closeness and help you, just like, you know, he's allowed to be on the podcast. I mean, it's not like I'm going, no, he's out. You're no more. You know, our arrangement hasn't changed at all, which is that he gets half of everything you guys make on the podcast. You get the other half. I get zero. You know, I get nothing. I get $0 from your podcast. But anyways, that doesn't matter. I saw Mike the Jeweler guy said again, I've easily spent 120 to 150 on cameos from you guys. On top of that, at least on
the supers.
On the supers, yeah. Oh, yeah. You
we
definitely have plus.
Thank you, Mike.
So much, yeah.
No. And listen, that's the thing, guys, right? We appreciate. Listen, I understand that everything that we do in life, whether it's the Reptarium, BHB, merchandising, everything, is about people supporting us. And every dollar that people spend is hard-earned money for them. And anyone that knows me, personally knows me, knows that I don't fucking care about money. You know, I drive around in a piece of shit truck. I wear shitty clothes. I do buy some shoes every now and then. But, you know, I mean, I'm not money-driven. When I make money, you know what I want to do with it? I want to buy a new animal. I want to upgrade a cage. I want to spend, and
which is what you do.
Yeah.
And and again, it's just like, and this is a little bit off topic, but it's not, is that, you know, it's hard not to talk about what's going on in the world because there's so much going on. Yeah. It's all on our minds. And man, we just got to get off our chest somehow. You know what I mean?
And I think this is it. It's therapeutic. I always say, you know, it's true. Like, the vlog is therapeutic for me, right? It really is. As much as it's hard work and it's a lot of effort, but, you know, it's therapeutic. I get to do the things. I get to get things off my chest I need to do. And that's what this podcast is about, right? You know, I mean, we will be okay as a society. We will get through this. Is there going to be hard times? Yes. But the fact is that, you know, I look at it as, and I'm not just saying this because we're on the podcast. Yesterday I was stressed. Yesterday I was freaking out. Yesterday my anxiety level was through the roof. I woke up this morning, even last night. Well, there was some negativity last night about the virtual tours, so that got me a little stressed. That's why I didn't go to bed till like 1:30 in the morning. I'm sure you didn't know because you were snoring next to me.
No, you woke me up.
Yeah, so I apologize. But you know, I was a little stressed and everything, but I woke up this morning with a great new attitude. And I really, you know, the one thing that I love is the fact that when's the last Friday or Saturday we've just hung out, you know, as a family?
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
A long time. Since the Reptarium
opened. I
opened.
love the Reptarium.
Yeah, of course.
I love the interaction, but I am actually kind of excited to have a weekend off.
Yeah.
To where we're still going to come in, we'll do our whatever.
Of course.
But like we're going to have the whole weekend evening.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool. Like last night, you guys, and this happens during the week anyway, so it's not like, but you got everyone left, which normally, most nights I'm the last one here, most nights. And I was just at the Reptarium alone, and there was, I love sharing the Reptarium with people. And when people are here on the weekends, it's one of the most amazing experiences. This last weekend was unbelievable. One of the best weekends I can ever remember in my life. But there was this thing going on last night when I was there at the Reptarium going like, wow, I get to enjoy this by myself.
It is kind of cool because it's like it's very peaceful.
It's very peaceful.
peaceful.
The waterfall's going.
Exactly.
I turned out all the lights.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so just the cages were lit up. And I literally spent like a half an hour just walking around,
And
looking at
honestly,
animals.
That's why a little plug for the yoga. It is not like it's a perfect setup for that too, because it's just very relaxing. You've got the water in the background, the cages, the animals.
No one's talking.
It's exactly.
It was just really
nice.
cool. And as a matter of fact, it was funny because, again, a lot of, okay, so if you really break it down, you figure we're open 15 hours a weekend that I'm there. And then I'm usually about maybe 10 plus tours a week, birthday events, whatever the case may be. So I just basically was given 25 hours a week of my life back right now, just for a short period of time. And don't get me wrong, I am looking forward. I want to have a grand opening 2.0 now, because I'm looking forward to the grand reopening when this is done, because I love sharing it. And I can't wait to get back to tours and birthday parties.
There was a ton
and
of people that wanted to come the next couple of weeks. Sure.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun. But that being said, today, when's the last time, Jay, you were able to leave at like a little after 2:00 for a couple hours. Yeah. And I mean, you had to be back because we're doing the podcast, so it's not like you had the night off, but you left. I went downstairs and worked with ball pythons for about an hour and a half or something like that. And then I came up, I was over at the Reptarium, and then I go into the birthday party room. I turn the lights on. I turn the TV on. I'm like watching TV. Literally my feet are up in the air.
That's
got
awesome.
the beautiful mural. I can see Salt and Pepper through the thing. And then not you, Jay, the other Jay comes walking in. I was in there for like 3 minutes. He comes walking in and he goes, "Oh, sorry to interrupt you." And I thought, when was the last time I got to do that? To just like sit up, put my feet up.
You got a whole 3
sitting
minutes.
at the fish spa.
Well, yeah, I seriously been looking at that fish spa. Today, I've got to do the fish spa before I leave, because there has not been one day since we opened the fish spa that I haven't done a fish spa.
Oh my God!
Every single day I put my feet in that fish spa.
You're gonna have such
Beautiful
nice
feet.
feet, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna be
good.
ready for summer.
All right, we got Ryan says, "Hi, all, keep safe. Keep the wine stocked up." Yeah, Lori isn't
Ryan.
drinking tonight because she's not feeling really well, but thankfully it's not the corona.
It's not the coronas.
Pitbull 21350. I've been following you guys for 12 years. My daughter and I met the crew 4 or 5 years ago at Tinley's show.
That's
you guys
awesome.
are amazing. Brian and Lori, keep up the great work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pitt.
And please come visit us. Bring the kids and stuff like that. I think we'll have a great time together. But
one cool thing, again, it's just like
it is what this is going to be a topic. It's
right. It's one cool thing of like what's going on is that companies, like big name companies, are doing nice things for the community.
Yeah.
And by the community, I mean like civilization.
Sure.
Like there's a lot of video games right now that you used to have to pay for that are now free.
Yeah.
Because
Wow,
they know
really?
people are at home.
Yes,
I heard
yes.
YouTube Premium was free.
Oh wow!
Wow.
I
I
didn't know
heard,
that.
I heard they did that. What was the other one that there was a couple other streaming sites that
Right,
that
Disney
wave?
Well,
Plus.
Disney
yep,
Plus
yep.
put out Frozen 2
2.
early because all the kids are home.
Get out. Are you serious?
And there was a bunch of streaming services that actually put out. Of course,
Probably
you
a
have
bunch.
like Postmates in particular is free delivery. Grubhub I've heard is doing no commissions.
Damn.
So yeah, there's a lot of great things. It's humanity is it's a good thing when we're in crisis, because you start to see. It was much like I haven't talked to you about this, but I think you'll feel the same way as I do, is that, there's the stimulus package that's being presented that is going to give $2,000 per person, $2,000 checks. I'm assuming it'll be $1,000 this month and $1,000 next month if it gets passed, which it probably will. But I know that if I have any way about it, I don't want that check.
Right.
I don't want the $1,000 check. I don't think you should take the $1,000. You should, because you're
That would be cool.
Yeah, but I mean, and I think that
dope videos with $2,000.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like I would honestly do that. Like if the government gave me that money, which I don't even know if they will. I don't know if
I think you will.
involved in it.
Yeah, you probably will get it.
But man, I could make some cool videos with some cash that's not mine. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
you can give away some. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I think that if we don't have a choice, like if they say, "Do you want this?" I would say no. Give it to somebody that really needs it.
Yeah.
And two,
or if we did, that's
then we
exactly
donate
what
it. Yeah,
I
we
did.
donate,
I would
yeah.
give it to somebody that
Yeah.
I know needs it. 'cause
exactly.
we
Someone
know a
that's
lot of
we
people
know a
who
lot
could
of
use
people that
it.
are struggling,
Yeah.
so we could give that couple $1,000s to
that'd be
families
awesome,
that are in
though.
need. And I hope that other you said a story the other day, Lori, that really I think is what people should be reacting. You went to the store and you were allowed to get 2 cases of water, right? And Lori said, "Well, I only need 1 case of water." So she took 1 case of water. You didn't
Thank
take
you.
the second case of water.
Yeah, because guess what? That's what I'm thinking. Next week, the pallet will be there, and I'll be able to get another case.
Yeah, and it's
so
the same thing
why
with
would I
toilet
grab
paper and
2
everything
if I
else.
only need one?
Yeah, I mean, if you need more than a 16 pack of toilet paper for the next month or so,
You're
then
sick as
then
hell.
yeah, you ain't got the corona. You got Montezuma's revenge. But my point is I think that is the responsible thing as a community, and it comes from what you're saying with these companies and other things like that. It's is that we need to step up and that's why it was important for me for our crew to not take a hit and us cut their hours. It was important for me to say, hey, listen, I'm not going to cut your hours.
Fortunately, we'll do what we have to do to make sure that happens.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of small businesses out there
that are screwed.
That literally go week to week, and my heart breaks for that. We know how hard it is to run a business.
Do you know that the Salvation Army across the street just closed this afternoon?
No.
Yeah, they just. I was next door at the gas station, and she said that they had just came in. They said that they were forced to close. That they closed them. Which doesn't make sense because it's a store and a lot of stores are open. I guess it's a clothing store.
Exactly, and I don't know how that's going. And I think that there's different levels to what's necessity and what's not. I think grocery stores are necessities. People need food. But a lot of these other stores, like clothing and stuff, are voluntarily closing for at least a week or two just because. Because that's the problem, like you were saying, is they want people to social distance. They're bored. Yeah. And then they're going, I'm just going to go to the store.
Yeah. And
you
that's
know
the
what I
worst
mean?
thing you can do.
And so you got more people out doing it. So
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like I was talking to you yesterday. Our friends over at SeaQuest, which is the big, like Sea Life aquarium. I think they said that all but 2 or something like that of their locations are shut, and then 2 of them are only open on the weekend. Wow! And it sounds like it's I mean, this is a 30,000 square foot place that has lots of animals and lots of crew.
And this is the problem, because I'm not going to lie, we've been getting all week lots of phone calls. I'm sorry, from frantic moms / parents. Yeah. Looking for things to do with their kids because they're home and they're like, are you guys open?
Please.
Are you guys open? Right. And I get it. Like the kids are bouncing off the walls and A, it would be an opportunity to do it, but B, it's
just not the right thing to do. It's not the right thing to do.
Exactly.
If we're going to stop this, we have to stop it.
Exactly.
We have to stop it. I mean, there's the only way that we're going to get rid of it. It's like I've said, overreaction or not, that's not the topic we want to talk about. We are where we are today. And now we have to rip the Band-Aid off. Let's get this over with. The quicker we get it over with, the quicker we go back to our life. And I believe, I talked to my doctor today, and he said, he felt, in all honesty, he felt the beginning of June was when we were going to get back to normal. He felt it was going to probably be a solid 2 months. 2.5 months before I think that we're going to see it starting to get back in about a month. Yeah. And then it'll take a good month for people to slowly be, for all the businesses to open, for everything, it's going to be 2.5 months. I don't see a scenario where kids are going back to school this year unless they put the school year into June or July. You know what I mean? They say push it back,
Well, no, but they can't even do that though, because the kids are already in school online.
Well, they're doing
some are,
Well, I think
a lot
they'll
of
start
them.
trying to do that. But I want to talk about maybe
especially
some
college
funny corona related, like the thing that's going around now.
What's
that? 9 months from now,
God.
the
That's totally true. You know how many babies?
corona
As a matter of fact, you
babies.
know what's not Dr. Phil? What's that doctor? What's the doctor? Famous doctor online?
Drew?
You are not the
not
father.
Dr. Drew, not Dr. Phil. Gosh darn it, I
What
can't
does he
remember.
do?
I don't know. He's a fucking doctor, TV doctor.
Oz?
Dr. Oz, thank you.
No, yeah,
Dr.
dude,
Oz.
not the
Dr.
fathers.
Oz. There's a TikTok going around where he says the best thing you can do if you're home stranded with your wife is have sex. And then actually, my friend, Alex Mandel, Howie Mandel's son, it was his TikTok I saw, and he like looks over at his girl, and she goes, "Don't even think about it."
That's awesome.
Yeah, because that was the other side of that meme I saw was the woman saying, "I'd rather have the coronavirus," and I'm in that camp.
Yeah. Whoa. Wait, you mean the baby part? I hope. I hope you mean the baby part.
Last thing I want is another baby. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't need a baby. either.
Well, listen, if we had a kid, and I actually said recently that I wanted to have
We
another
do.
kid.
We have two.
We could always just give the kid to Jade.
No, let's not do
Let's
that.
not.
Arturo, love you guys. Thanks, Brian, for always being awesome, and it does hurt my heart, or it does my heart well that everything at the Reptarium is going good. Listen, it's going great. You know, I mean, it's going to be fine. The animals are doing great, and that's all that matters right now. And it's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like
It
that
is
place,
fucking awesome.
That place is ridiculously cool.
It
I'm
is
so
cool.
proud of it. You know, I mean, it feels like we more than doubled. You know what I mean? Like when we doubled, it seems bigger than
So
twice
this
the
is
size.
what I was telling somebody, and I don't know, you might not agree with this or whatever, but this is just
sure.
the way I feel. It is that so the old I guess it's not the old Reptarium. What do you call
I usually
that?
call it the Reptarium 1.0. Yeah.
Okay, so the 1.0, it was cool, right?
Yeah.
But when you were in there, you like there was not the vibe you have in this new one.
Right.
Because in like this new one, I feel like I'm in like an actual zoo.
Yeah.
Like in the old one, it felt zoo-ish,
Ish. Yeah.
but it was still small enough to
Yeah.
feel like a
Yeah.
personal collection,
Yeah.
kind of.
I agree with you
And then
100%.
with the 2.0, like you're like, oh my god, like this is a effing zoo. Like,
Well,
yeah,
it's like a
those
reptile
enclosures
house.
are
Yeah,
huge,
it's like a reptile house at a zoo now. You know,
Yeah.
like you said, I think that 1.0 felt like a glorified pet shop. You know,
Yeah.
a little bit. You know, I mean, it was still cool
Yeah.
as shit. You know, but
Yeah.
but it didn't. You could walk in there and feel like, you know, okay, this is like a pet shop that just went to a zoo or something like that. Whereas now, and that was the whole reason for doing the enclosures like we did, is to make it feel like a zoo. You know, to make it
Yeah.
feel like something you would. I mean, the anaconda exhibit you could see at any major zoo in the country.
Yeah.
You know,
And you'd be
a lot-
impressed.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'd be impressed, and a lot of the enclosures are that way.
You
Diddy
know
and Dixie certainly
which
are that
one
way.
I really like?
What's that?
I like Cupcakes.
Me too.
Because she's
yeah.
always up on like the vines and stuff,
Yeah,
and like
it's so crazy.
I
right?
never expected that boa to be
No,
able to
me
climb
either.
up to the tippity top,
70
And stay
pound-
there. Like
yeah.
that's where she likes
and
to
it
be.
just stays up tight. It's so cool.
No,
it
I
looks
agree-
like
I
we
agree with
placed
you.
her there.
Yeah.
People are like, "Did you
like
put her
she's
there?"
stuck
We're like,
and can't get down.
right. We're like, no, like she literally crawled up there with her own like
Yeah.
intentions.
And yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, Cupcake is like a 70-pound boa.
Literally
Literally
70.
one of, if not the largest common boa, one of the largest common boas I've ever seen in my entire life. And she seems to be settling in really well. What's interesting is that we had her, I don't know if you remember, Noah, I know you do, Lori, we had her at the original Reptarium, and she didn't like it. She like just paced her cage constantly and stopped eating and just was really seemed to be stressed.
definitely
She was
likes
in Night
this
Fury's
cage,
cage actually
yeah.
is what it was. And so now she seems to
Suits her much
settle in. She's like not stressed. So we feed her tomorrow. If she eats tomorrow, which I'm pretty sure she's going to eat, then she is gold and she'll stay in that cage for a long time. So that was the only bummer is, Noah, is that was my sloth cage.
Yeah, you can put the sloth. It's a dual habitat.
Cohabitate it.
No,
Yeah.
no, you can't, because she already knocked the stuffed one down. She wasn't having it. I came down the next day and it was on the ground. I was like, all right.
Yeah, time to take this out.
I did really want to put a sloth in there, though. Stephanie, people need to do more for the homeless. I mean, that's a whole fucking different topic in itself. Homeless is a wild, it's wild. I don't even know what to say about that. You know what I mean?
I don't either.
Obviously, people that are down on their luck, absolutely. And a lot of times homelessness is a lot more about mental health than it is about
Yeah.
lack of work or,
For sure.
or
Yeah.
lack of finances.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's a tough one. But I agree that it's a very sad thing. But I think that goes back to where really mental health is the issue. And I think that, even with this situation that we're going through right now, mental health is going to be one of the biggest things that we're going to have to be concerned about.
Sure.
I mean, whether it's anxiety, depression, people that don't have any out. I mean, I know you're a big sports guy. And it's got to be
sucks.
wild to not be able to watch sports. I don't really care either way, but
No.
but
So here's the thing: is like, yes, it sucks, but like I really don't care because it's like, of course, I would love to watch some sports right now, but like we can't do it because there's already players sick with it.
Yeah.
Right now, they're sick with it, but
sick with it.
But and imagine if they kept the NBA running for like a week longer, then everybody
Everyone
would
would,
have
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So it was a good thing what they did, and I'm not mad at them, and I'm not
But-
like, oh my god,
No.
sports. I
Right.
just want everyone to be healthy.
So
Right.
are these stations like playing old games? Because I remember
Yeah,
for a
I've seen
while,
some
like you were
repeats, yeah.
watching
I've
like
seen some
old like
repeats, yeah.
hockey games and this and that.
Yeah,
so
they
are they
still do
doing
that.
that? So are they doing
Yeah,
a
I've
lot
seen
of
some
repeats?
Yeah,
people
there
do
was
that.
a '84 Tigers game on.
Wow, that's
Oh my
cool.
gosh,
They're
1984.
really going back.
yeah, but that was back when we were good.
Exactly.
So, like,
I remember.
Yeah, we won
living
the
the
World
glory days.
Series.
Yes.
Yeah, we won the World
I
Series that year.
remember because
That's
I
why-
lived in Detroit at that time.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That's
Yeah,
why
that
they
was-
were playing it.
Yeah, and Noah, I tell you, in 1984, I was at the time I was in a band. I was at my band house when they won the World Series, and you're talking about a bunch of, what was I, 15 years old, 15-year-old high-ons, long-haired
Yeah.
rock guys jamming out, and every night we'd be watching that fucking
Oh, yeah,
World
that's
Series
cool.
on thing. And when they won,
Yeah.
I'm in Centerline, Michigan, which is a long way from Detroit. And a long
Yeah,
way from
yeah,
everything.
for sure.
And it's 9 Mile and Van Dyke is where I was at. And you could not walk in the streets. People were packing the streets. It was nothing like
It
the
was
Red Wings
crazy.
victories or the
Yeah.
Pistons victories. It was all you could hear is horns for hours and hours. And it was really cool, man.
Around me, it was a lot of gunshots, but it was
Yeah.
it was happy gunshots.
happy
Yeah,
Was it?
happy gunshots.
Well, what you know, anyways, there's probably a bunch of people dead the following morning.
It's so funny.
Oops.
Because like people shoot in the sky, right? Cause
Yeah, bullets
that-
come
They
down.
gotta come down, right?
yeah, the bullets literally do come down. So
Just so you
that's-
know.
that's scary.
Yeah, it is scary.
And speaking of scary and gunshots and stuff, again, another Instagram thing, which I'm pretty sure is true because I've seen this one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the police force in Philadelphia.
Oh, yes.
Well, I didn't
They're
see
not
this
doing
one.
anything.
They're just letting it go.
That what they're doing is police are not arresting people for non-violent crimes,
Yeah.
robberies,
Yeah.
armed robberies.
Well, armed robberies is violent.
Well, they said it on the
No, they're
list.
really not
They
doing
said they're
any of that.
not.
Jesus.
Unless someone gets shot, they're not arresting
Well,
anybody.
I saw that they even said
Why
they were
is that?
suspending.
because they need to focus on other things. I don't know. It sounds like they want to purge. Honestly,
Yeah,
it sounds like
right,
they're
yeah.
like.
Well,
doing
that's the
some
one thing I will say that
garbage.
so far.
It's one way to keep people.
Yeah,
in
so far the
quarantine.
only thing that scares me is civil unrest.
People.
Right now, the world has done unbelievably good for what's happened, right? I mean, when you go
Yeah.
from China to Italy to all over the world where there's been massive, Italy in particular, and yet there hasn't been any civil unrest. People haven't looted. They haven't done, crazy crimes, which is, let's hope that stays, because that is a thing that would throw this overboard, right? That's when this whole thing turns from pandemic to apocalypse, right? And so let's hope everyone keeps their shit together. But I did even hear
agree.
that they were most criminal case they were not going to try. They're pushing off unless it's serious. They're pushing off criminal. I think they even said any trial that's going to last more than 3 days is
Hey,
suspended.
Jay, do you mind looking this up for me?
Yeah, what's up, brother?
So try to look up. I'm pretty sure it was Mexico, Mexican jail, breakout.
Mexican jail breakout.
Yeah,
That's
let's see
probably
if
a couple
something-
threads on that for sure.
No, that's-
shit. These are old. Maybe it wasn't Mexico. Damn it! I wish we could find it, but I don't know the exact thing.
Jailbreak?
Corona
Yeah.
breakout.
Ohio.
So
You
what
know.
happened was that literally these inmates were scaring the guards because they were like, we got corona.
Right.
So they
Brazil.
They ganged up on him, and look at this crowd. I hope there's a video up here.
Or at least a picture
There's
or something.
800.
Oh, yeah,
here
we
it
go.
is,
Here it
baby.
is. Wow.
800 prisoners broke free because
Oh, my
they
gosh.
overpowered the guards. Yeah, let's
Wow.
get that right
No
there.
way.
And
It looks
these
like
are
a marathon. Are you sure this
Yeah.
isn't
No,
just a picture
this is
of a
not.
marathon?
No.
Running a 5K.
That's the Brazilian 5K. Yeah.
these are prisoners.
funny.
How crazy is that? Now
Look
all
at
of
this
a
guy
sudden-
over here on the
He's
left. He like
catching
can't
his
fucking
breath,
run
right?
anymore. He's like, oh man, I'm just too tired.
Just
I'm so
stops. He's
tired.
I'm so,
empty.
I'm so tired. I'm going to go to sleep.
He's
I'm going back to the
throwing
cell.
up.
But
like,
it's so crazy
Okay.
because like now you just have 800
Inmates.
murders. I mean, these guys are in prison, so they're doing hard time, right?
Yeah.
This isn't the freaking
Jail.
local county,
county
jail.
jail, yeah.
No, this is like some federal prison stuff. And
Wow.
in Brazil, you can only imagine what they did.
yeah, right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought that was really crazy.
yeah, that's a little scary.
You know what I
There's
mean?
no doubt about
that
that,
is
yeah.
that is crazy. Like, how are you gonna? You're not getting all those guys back.
No, not 800. Not 800.
800 guys
yeah.
loose. I mean,
especially in this world.
oh
yeah.
my god,
No, it's wild.
that is
that's,
ridiculous. Did you see that before this?
No, I just saw that for the first time. That's
Yeah.
wild. Yeah, it makes sense. But it is funny because I was talking to one of the police officers here in the state,
Yeah.
in the city, and yeah, they're talking about like they're not really pulling people over for traffic offenses or anything right now. They're pretty lax. I mean they're
Well, I
pretty
think
chill
it's
about
also
things.
part of the social distance.
Yeah.
Because the less people they come
Yeah.
in contact with, too.
I saw this funny meme where this guy had a mask on and he was like, when you get pulled over, just do this. Put your mask on and grab your piece of paper that says, I have
I saw
coronavirus.
that.
Step back.
And then they're just like,
Yeah, just keep on driving.
yeah, just
Keep
go.
on driving. I actually I have a ticket.
Recently?
now?
Yeah,
What?
about a week and a half
Did you
ago.
not pay that
I
yet?
didn't pay it yet, and now I'm probably in trouble. I'm probably over the limit.
Damn it, I
You
told
always
you.
do this. You
But
always
can't
do
I
this.
just make up the excuse like I didn't want to come and pay it because I was afraid of
Corona
corona?
panic.
No.
You could pay it
You could
online,
probably-
right?
Right, exactly.
Jace, come on,
exactly.
man.
on, you're selling
help
me out.
Help me out a little bit here, Jay. Come on, man.
Come on, Jay.
Come on.
Killing me.
So I forgot to pay it.
It's okay.
I would say about 80% of the tickets I get, I don't pay on time.
90,
100,
dude.
100%.
Yeah, or
100%. 100%.
Have you
That's
paid
fine.
any of your tickets?
I don't think I've ever paid a ticket now that I think about it. But you usually do.
Yeah, which I'm trying to teach you to be responsible.
I am responsible.
I've had one
No,
ticket.
I mean, not really, but
That's fine.
Thank you for owning up to
I've
that.
had one ticket. I've gotten pulled over a bunch, but for some reason, I'm just smooth with my
Charmin,
words. I
Better
bro.
must
knock on
have.
some wood.
You know what I'm
do
saying?
you know one time I'm gonna be, everyone's gonna think I'm a horrible person. You know this story,
All right,
Lori.
let's
so,
hear it.
So I'm in, coming back from the Columbus, Ohio Reptile Show, and there's this little street that we drive up. It's called I-68. Back roads of Ohio. I mean, really rural. One of those things where you don't see a town for like an hour and a half.
I hated those because
yeah.
I always had to pee
50, yeah,
for
50,
so long.
yeah,
There's
50, yeah,
nothing.
right. There's no
Bottles.
gas station. So 55 miles an hour, 2-lane highway, so you have to pass if some. So there's a school bus in front of me going slow. And so what do? One thing you're never supposed to do is pass a school bus. You're not supposed to pass a school bus on a 1-lane highway because it could, crash and kill all the kids, right? So I literally gun it. I go back, I pass him up. Cop is coming.
Oh, no,
He
dude.
does it right by a
Right by a cop. So it's a female trooper, Ohio State trooper, and normally Ohio State troopers are hardcore, right?
Yeah.
And so sure enough, she pulls me over, and I'm like, shit. I mean, what kind of a fine is that for passing a school bus full of kids,
Oh,
right?
my God.
And so she comes up to me, and I can't believe I'm going to tell this story. So literally, she comes up to me, and I go, I know. I'm so sorry. I was driving behind this bus for like 15 minutes, and all these little kids kept flipping me off.
Oh,
And I said, and it just made me so upset I had to get away from her. She goes, I know they can be little brats. Just be careful in the future. And she let me
Yes.
go.
Oh my
Well,
god.
this is the thing,
You're
though. You're
evil.
not 100% wrong because while
Yeah.
that may not have happened
Yeah,
there,
no.
90. At least 80% of the time.
Oh my god.
That's what happens.
No, yeah, like anytime you're on a school
Right.
bus. Dude, honestly, I'll tell a funny school bus story right now. So, again, I don't think I can get in trouble for this because this was when I was in high school.
Oh,
but
boy.
so I played high school hockey, right? And there's quite a bit of road trips where your team hops on a bus and
Yeah.
you drive to another school, blah blah blah. And what we'd do on these buses was hilarious. So we'd all like bring like sack lunches or whatever. So you got apples, you got bananas, you got some Jello puddings or whatever, right? And you'd be driving on the freeway and the window's open. Right, the window's open. So yeah, so like you got your like Jello, right? You take open the thing, and then you're just like, once there's a yellow car, it always had to be a yellow car.
Yellow car.
Yeah, and then you just fucking whip it at the car. Right? So you'd hit a banana. You have a banana, and you're hitting a yellow car with it. I don't know. It was just something funny we used to do, and we just pelt these cars. It's so fucked up looking back at it, but it was so.
Yeah, you could have caused so much accidents, right?
Yeah,
but it was so much fun.
Karma is wonderful. So one day you're gonna be driving.
Yeah, you're gonna get pelted.
And them kids
Don't
are
get
gonna
a yellow.
pelt the shit
Don't get
out
a
of
yellow
you,
car. Whatever
and then
you do.
you're gonna go, fuck. That's
You know
what I
what?
get.
You know what's wild if you really think about it, speaking of school buses, is that like, so it's like you have to strap up in any car.
I know.
But yet there's nothing in a school bus.
No.
They don't
like,
care.
It's like, and you get in that back of that school bus and you're bouncing, you're hitting the freaking ceiling.
bouncing.
Like, I mean, how dangerous is they can't afford seatbelts on these things or what?
They usually have them. They just don't care if you have them on.
They have 'em- I don't know.
No,
They
dude, I've
never had 'em.
never been on one with belts.
Really?
Have you?
Yeah.
In
for sure.
Jersey?
Yeah.
You
Well,
jerks.
we're super. It's
You
super
guys are
strict
ahead.
over
In
there.
Michigan.
you guys
Dude,
are ahead
yeah.
of the
They don't
curve,
make
man.
'em
Like,
that.
there's not even a new school bus in Michigan. They're all from the 50s.
The wild Midwest.
Yeah, that's right, right? You know what? And we have, you know Scott from Scott's Reptiles, my buddy with the blackheads and all that
Yeah.
stuff. He
Oh,
fixes
okay.
school buses. That's what he
Okay.
does, right?
Okay.
And yeah, they're working on buses from like fucking
Well, yeah,
50
'cause
years
that's
ago.
how we make stuff in the Motor City to last.
to last, yeah, to last.
We're gonna start making some more stuff soon. For sure.
You know, the UAW is talking about shutting down. I don't know if they did. They had like a deadline yesterday for the big three to keep their workers. Yeah, you want to pull that shit up, Jay?
Well, I mean,
see if
again,
the UAW shuts out. They kept it open. So UAW
Okay.
auto workers cut deal to keep it open. The auto workers were just basically like freaked out. Like they're like,
Well,
shit.
there's a lot of people.
It's like a city.
Yeah,
It's like there's
exactly.
thousands and thousands of people that
Yeah.
you're coming in contact with daily. And that's so they were talking about cutting that. So it's pretty. Did you know the city buses in Detroit shut down yesterday?
They
Wow.
should. Them
Yeah.
bitches
But-
dirty.
Right. But this is interesting. It's kind of cool. Again, another kind of cool civil thing is that the city buses were down for a day. They came to an agreement. The union came to an agreement. Everyone has to enter the bus from the back and leave the bus from the back so they never get by the driver. And it's free. Anyone can ride the buses
Wow.
for free. Yeah.
But
And they're just disinfecting by the hour.
that's what
Yeah.
I was gonna say. Like they should have like Lysol wipes. Like maybe even have like a guy back there, just like here, take this wipe.
Yeah,
Anything
give a
you
wipe.
touch, wipe it.
Wipe it.
Anything you touch.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just
Yeah.
a thought.
No, it's a good idea.
But it is
you know,
something cool that like I
Yeah.
can't. I'm glad that at least in these hard times that there are these little
Yeah.
things that companies and stuff is doing to at least make
Right.
things a little easier on all of us.
So it's not
Yeah.
complete mayhem. Even though
Yeah.
you might not be able to wipe your ass, you can still get
Take a
free,
shower.
Yeah.
You could just take a shower.
You can get a free
after you're
bus
done
ticket.
pooping.
You know.
Yeah, I told you, Lori, about we should have had that bidet in our house. Years ago, I've been asking you for a bidet.
I agree.
Believe me,
I
those
agree.
companies are
Crushing it.
crushing it. Because I don't know about
It's all
you,
good. I got
but-
my water pick.
Yeah,
but-
right?
Oh jeez, dude.
Yeah, I'm glad. I
Remind me
have
never-
my own.
remember-
And I'm
remind me
glad
not
I
to
have
use yours
my
in the
own, 'cause
future.
no.
This is
But
crazy.
It's great. You just put on the little toothbrush attachment. You get Brussels.
Brussels it,
Man,
yeah.
you're getting
just-
the whole thing
man,
out,
that's
man.
nice.
You know, phones on your computer or whatever,
Yeah.
like that shit is popping up
Oh,
ads
yeah,
for
bidet,
bidets
yeah,
like
bidets, yeah.
crazy. And I'm
Yep.
just laughing like, oh my God, how many people
Yeah.
are just like, shh, shh, shh.
Well, you know the hack, right?
No.
For that. You
A
just no,
hose.
seriously, you just take a water bottle and you just pop a hole in it and then you just squirt it on
Like
your
an
butt.
enema, little
Yeah,
enema.
you just squirt it on your butt.
And hey,
There's so
did
much
you,
easier
did you
ways.
pick up this hack in prison?
Yeah, this was another prison hack.
This is where he learned
like
how
the
to.
toilet paper?
like my toilet paper hack.
I was gonna say now we can use it. We learned it at
Right.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so all right, let me back up, guys. Oh, and by the way, Heidi was on here.
Yeah, she's in here,
and
yeah.
hi, Heidi. How are you? Heidi
ho.
wants Heidi from South Africa wants us to come over. They're going to have the show in August.
Oh, I was going to say there's probably really cheap flights right now.
Yeah, no, there's not.
Really?
There's not. I
looked
looked
it
up
up?
I saw-
Hawaii, and it was fucking $1,700 to
No
fly to
way.
Hawaii.
That's
A
more
friend of
expensive than
mine-
It's
usual.
more expensive, twice the price of normal.
A friend of mine posted you could get a flight from Detroit to Texas for $17. And
Yeah,
she's
in
like,
Florida
people,
is
why don't
40.
you come visit me right now, quarantine with me? I was like, shit, for $17. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I know Wuhan, China's cheap, right? You can fly there cheap.
Yeah, super
Hell
cheap.
yeah. Ari Manis
they're
wanted.
Yeah.
He wants to go.
Yeah, let's do it. Ari's going to come. I talked to Ari yesterday, actually.
Nice.
Just texting with him, and he's going to come up when this whole mess is
Oh,
over.
cool.
Speaking of which, I just want to tell you guys really quick. Tyler Nolan is not coming next week, obviously.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
figured.
I mean,
kinda,
Tyler was going to
figured.
be here on Tuesday. We had to reschedule, so I'm sorry for that. So anyway, South Africa, are you coming in August?
I don't know. I can't commit.
We don't
to
know that far yet.
Well, we're going to be okay by then. I think we should all go. We should all go.
It's not about this. It's
Where?
about being South Africa.
Where?
South Africa's so amazing.
Where- where?
Such
South Africa.
Such
Right.
amazing stories.
But there's like
I've
different
heard.
countries.
No, there's
About
not. There's
life
different
and
cities.
death.
Johannesburg.
And safety.
And then we probably go down to
And
Durban
murder.
and maybe up to Bella Bella somehow.
Wait, explain that to me more.
So South
there's
Africa is a
the-
South
country.
Africa's a
There's a
place
continent
that you
of
can go.
Africa.
Oh,
a
okay.
country of South
so
Africa.
this is what. All right. See, this is just idiot white man right here. So I thought, obviously, I knew that Africa is a continent, but I didn't know that South Africa was its own country.
You thought geographically like the
Yeah,
south
you
of
were like
Africa.
south of Africa. Yeah.
South Africa. No, ironically enough, it is South Africa because it's on the very bottom
southern
of
tip.
Africa.
Okay.
But it is called South Africa. And,
I mean, I honestly will go. Like, I don't care. Like, as long as we
it's
don't
so
make any.
cool.
As long as we don't travel at night.
Yeah, that's the
you
thing,
know what I'm
right?
saying?
Yeah.
Then I'm good.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
that's
know.
it.
Like, honestly, if I'm going to go, F it. Let's just get the whole nighttime
Experience.
breakdown adventure,
Yeah.
fighting for our lives.
Yeah.
Are we going to
No.
make it? Are we not?
Okay, so
I'm
Heidi,
good.
set that up, man. All right, we're gonna do that.
I'll
so.
do it.
Come
I want
home
to
with
go.
a couple of those guard dogs.
So I think we
I'll
should
be
go.
happy.
So Heidi, that's I think we're good, man. I think we're gonna go as long as the world hasn't ended. We're gonna go.
I would like to see some like special African stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can go to Jakudu or down to
Just like
you know-
animals.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
or-
We could see lions, we could see rhinos and elephants and giraffes and
Meet a
and
tribe.
kudus and all
I'd
kinds
want
of
to
stuff.
see a wild crocodile.
Yeah, there's a place called Jozini
cool.
Dam that we can go to that has tons of
you
Nile
want to see a
crocodiles.
wild one. You won't even get close to the ones we have.
That's not true. I was on the back of a 15-footer in Florida that I
That's
didn't
true.
even know.
You did do that.
Tebow.
Yeah,
That you
Tebow
didn't
time.
even
Yeah,
know?
Tebow
You didn't
time.
know you were on the back of it?
No, I didn't know the animal, so
Yeah,
I
you
didn't.
Up on
jumped
me.
You jumped on Tebow.
But I
time.
jumped on his back.
Yeah.
I was the only one to do that besides
Did
obviously.
he like it?
Well, I would do it.
Gator Man.
Robbie Kizzy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think anyway. So Tyler is obviously not coming next week for apparent, for obvious reason.
you said that.
So he'll be coming in the next month or
Whenever
two, or
it's
when this all blows
cleared.
over. And then Ari said the same thing.
Cool.
And we got a bunch of people that want to come in. Kevin McCurley, a bunch of other people are going to come in. Brian Potter, obviously, all kinds of people for the podcast. But unfortunately, you guys are going to get stuck with us for a few weeks because we are, socially distancing
It's
ourselves.
Corona time.
Yeah.
It's Corona time, which I hope you guys will be okay with.
Yeah.
Let's see, what do we got here? Devin. Hello from Ohio. Love the podcast and the vlogs. Just hook up the sink.
Oh my God!
to the
You know
toilet.
what? You could totally
Virginia
do
style.
West Virginia.
We were just talking about West Virginia.
That's awesome.
We're
Word.
just talking
I've
about
got
West
that
Virginia.
hose that hooks up to the shower to wash the dogs. That would work
Yeah.
awesome.
I've been
for
saying
us.
this for 2
Oh.
weeks. I've been saying
I don't
this.
even need that. Like my
Just spread
shower.
'em.
My shower's a tub shower hybrid.
Yeah.
So I
Just get in.
Just lay
Sit
down
on the faucet?
missionary style, legs behind my head, and I just turn on that faucet. It's just that water pressure. That water pressure be hitting different.
Nobody needs that visual. You didn't have to
No,
get that
I know,
graphic.
right?
But now
Well,
we all know you a little bit
but-
better.
But no one wants to be laying in that. Then you're laying in the filth.
Yeah, you face down.
But you're in the tub. You
No.
can get clean.
Faces up. Faces
Yeah,
up.
face up
okay.
on his back. Yeah,
Said missionary, not doggy
missionary,
style.
not doggy
I know,
style.
right?
Yeah.
Dog, now, if you're doing it doggy style, that's for pleasure.
You're not doing this because of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
You do this all the time.
Completely different. I'm just washing my ass.
But it is. But I do think we should get a bidet, though.
I mean,
I wonder. Well, I'm not gonna forget.
it's too late now, man.
Yeah.
Like
now they're
gonna-
all overpriced.
They're upcharging.
Yeah.
They're doing all this stuff.
But I was talking about this the other day. Japan is
Ahead of the curve.
you guys have never been to Japan, right?
No, but I've used a Japanese toilet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've
like
had
Bernsey. Remember
Yeah, exactly.
Bernsy's
Oh
toilet?
my
Yeah.
God,
It's the best thing ever.
Yeah, they are so far ahead of the curve, man. I mean,
love
like
it.
I don't understand. I mean, they pulsate, they get warm, they spray,
Yeah.
they spray on.
It was
you. I mean,
awesome. Like you go
you
down.
guys spent so much time in
the bathroom?
just
Yeah.
playing. There were so many buttons.
So many
And
buttons.
So many
I'm
buttons.
just like, how do you flush? Like,
No, yeah,
It just keeps squirting you in the face, like
yeah.
yeah,
it's kind
because
of like, what was that movie about meeting a dad or whatever? when
Meet
he
the
got,
Fockers? Is
No,
it?
no,
Oh,
when
okay,
he got stuck on the toilet because
Oh, it's with
Yeah.
what's his name?
I don't know.
What? I can't remember anyway. I don't know. Yeah.
What's the dude from This Is the End?
yes,
What's the dude?
there's so
the
many in
famous
there.
guy, the really big dude.
Dude, there's so many famous people.
who
in
does
there.
Pineapple Express?
Seth Rogen,
not Seth Rogen, the other one.
James Franco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Franco was the
Right,
was
yeah.
the
Meet- I'll
son-in-law
look it up.
or the
Son-in-law,
whatever,
yeah,
but the
yeah.
other guy,
Yeah, it was
the In-Laws or something?
You love
not
that
you,
movie.
not this, not you.
I'll
What
look
is
it up. Just keep going.
Why him? Right?
Yeah, Why Him?
Why
Yeah,
him?
yeah.
Yeah, why him? That was a great movie, by the
yeah.
way. That was an amazing movie. But
like
yeah, I
that
mean, I even in the airports in Japan, the toilets are that way.
Well, they're way ahead of China then, who is literally
Yeah, China's
holes
a
in the,
hole in
it's
a
the floor.
freaking hole in the ground. It is
And you
unbelievable.
wonder why we got a virus from them.
we were in a little city called Qingdao, and we went to a factory. And it was an interesting story because first off, we were with Bob Ashley and Brian Potter,
Yep.
who put on the NARBC Reptile Show, and Bob Ashley has a merch company called EcoWare. That's a bunch of animal stuff, and they're sold in national parks and zoos around the country and stuff like that. And so he wanted to go to this factory to see if he could maybe source a little bit better price. So we get there, and they have a knockoff of his hat in the fucking place. So they've been knocking off his hat,
Yeah.
selling them without, and just what's the chances, right?
That's
So-
where I got your knockoff Supreme one. That
Yeah,
know.
that's right.
You
I got
didn't
the
like
Supreme one.
it.
And then remember I had like the gold, like quilted one. What was that? I don't even remember.
some kind of.
I
Pimp
remember
Daddy
you
one,
brought back
yeah.
some hats, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this is so fake."
Yeah.
Like
So
the logo was bent.
Yeah,
Shit, like
it was bad.
wasn't even spelled right.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
no,
the
I
funniest
didn't-
part, you were
supper.
going to talk
Yeah,
about.
supper.
You were going to talk about the toilet, right?
Right, and that's my point is that I had to go pee, and I think you
We
might
both
have to.
did, 'cause we
and
were in
so
the
they're
car
like,
for a long
and when
time.
I ask, I go, "Do you have a restroom or toilet, as they would call it there?" And he had that look on his face, like, oh, I don't really
Shit.
want to show you, but yeah, over here. So you literally walk outside. This is outside. This is not inside. Outside, and there is literally just a hole in the ground.
Yes.
And it was the
Not even a
stink-
porta potty, just
no,
a hole.
a hole in the ground, and it smelled. I literally held my pee. I didn't even want to pee in the hole.
Whoa.
He
That's
came in,
crazy.
and he's like, "Yeah, no, you don't want to go out
You
there."
don't
I'm
wanna
like,
go out there.
I gotta go. He's like, "No."
No, you don't.
And the interesting thing was that the place we were going to see the hats was I mean, it was janky, but it's like you could almost see a merch company here being
Yeah,
janky. But that behind the toilet was where they made the stuff, and I peeked in there, and oh my, talk about a sweatshop. I mean, it was bad. The employees there. I mean, it was bad. I understood why some of those companies get a bad rap when you saw the actual production of that shit. You know,
Yeah.
there was kids working in there. It was filthy. It was horrible. But anyways,
Imagine that though, right? It's like I mean, like if you're doing that kind of business, like you're obviously making some money. You can't afford a toilet that flushes.
Well, I
Well,
think it's pretty normal
honestly,
there because
yeah.
even when you go to like a restaurant, now they'll have like an American toilet, but then they'll have a hole in the ground for the Chinese.
Well,
Yeah,
because the
not-
Chinese don't use
not
toilets.
now, like
It's
some,
so
but a
strange
lot,
to
no.
me.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
can't get it because I'm not
I think that,
from
but
there.
Cultural
right, that's
norms,
exactly.
yeah.
But I think
And
when
I
they
never
come
got
here,
it. Let me tell you.
I think when they come here, they think what we do is strange. Instead of squatting, you know, instead of just squatting, you're sitting.
You're touching the
Right.
you're touching
and that's
something
what
someone
the
else
whole
touched,
squatty potty was about, right? Is that you are supposed to be in a squatting position to go, and that was what the squatty potty was all
They
about.
have
I'm not
right?
gonna
really
lie.
good balance.
I'm not gonna lie. I mean, literally, if I'm in like a public place that's like nasty and they don't have like some sort of like ass covers or whatever,
covers.
Ass
I've
gaskets,
definitely
that's what they-
popped a squat and dropped a drop. You know what I mean?
On
Like,
top, did you stand on top of the toilet though?
no, like that's the thing. I'm doing wall sits
Yeah.
in the air, And like I'm just levitating about 2 inches above.
Oh, gosh,
and
this
I dropped
podcast is going the wrong direction right now.
Shitty podcast.
Welcome to being a woman, because we do that all the time.
Just to pee, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Well, you guys can freaking
Squat over
maneuver
everything.
it. Like you guys can stand over and just let it rip. Like if you want, you might get pee on you, but fuck it. It's all in the hips. Like if you can just maneuver your hips a certain way, I'm sure you can shoot it into the toilet.
Right.
I've watched Step Brothers. She pissed in the urinal.
In the turlet.
In the turlet. Yeah, no.
She did it. I saw it.
I'm not gonna lie, I've pissed in a urinal.
There you go.
you gotta do.
We learn something new every day.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Me
If
neither.
I would have known that before I married her.
Yeah,
I've been
I'm gonna-
even more
I've been done.
impressed.
Yeah.
Wow, she could do party tricks. Check that out.
Check this shit out, guys.
You'll never believe what my wife can do. Come on, Joey, come and check this out.
Check it out.
I don't do it for show.
She just places a water bottle on the ground. I can hit this from distance.
Oh my god.
That would be cool.
You'd be
Yeah.
surprised.
So South Africa sounds like a plan then. South
Yeah.
Africa's pretty civilized. You
Yeah,
guys will
sure.
love it. You'll love it.
Is Joburg, is that like the kidnap capital of the world?
It is. I
Okay.
believe it is
All
the
right.
kidnapping
That's fine.
capital of the world. So
All right, let's go do it. I'm
I
not
was-
even a kid.
I was thinking about something earlier.
Mm-hmm.
This may have been earlier today. This may have been yesterday. This may have been 4 days ago.
Right.
Who the heck knows?
doesn't
anymore?
matter. Doesn't matter. It's
But
all the same.
This is what I was thinking was that. Fuck, what was I thinking?
Oh my god.
No!
Well, that's why it doesn't matter. That's why.
Damn it. I was just. Oh my god.
my
I
gosh,
had it. Can you
no.
talk about South Africa for a second so I can get
All right, I'm
my
gonna talk
brain
back
wrapped
about
I was
around
talking
that.
about Johannesburg being the kidnap
Yeah, why don't you
capital.
pull that shit up? See if Johannesburg is still the South African or the kidnapping capital of the world. It may very well be. Poor Noah's struggling. Oh,
got it.
he got
Okay.
it. Let's go.
So
We're gonna still look at the kidnapping capital of the world.
So you have relics, I'll call them relics, from Africa.
yes,
You bought products from people in
Yes,
certain villages.
authentic, yeah,
Yeah,
authentic,
real
yeah.
stuff that they
Yeah.
made. And I was thinking, what
Phoenix.
if,
That's crazy.
just by happenstance, that one of those things may have been cursed, and that's why we convince ourselves that there is a ghost upon us.
Mm.
I was thinking about that.
Well, I think that it's not a bad thought. I mean, I think that I don't know what I believe, but there is a lot of people that believe that.
Black magic.
Well, I think that there's a lot of people that think that energy can attach to objects, and so maybe, but I mean, I bought good objects. I bought like bowls and fucking whatever. I don't know.
There's these bowls that
You're like, the bowls are the problem.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I heard about a couple bulls.
no, yeah. So there are some bowls that they this is like here in America, is that in Native American culture they would some of them they would put bowls over like the head of the dead so that their spirit and their soul
would
can
suck into the
can
bowl?
escape through the bowl, right, to go on to the next life. And there was a stupid white guy that where he was born and raised, there was a lot of dead Native American like graves and all that, right? Sadly, whatever. And he would go around and he thought the bowls were so cool. He didn't know
So
the
you just
meaning
kept
behind
taking
it.
the bowls.
So yes, he would he would steal the bowls, he would buy the bowls, and then all of a sudden he just had a room full of these soul bowls.
Soul bowls. That's
Soul
like
bowl.
that's
And-
like black magic right there.
Exactly.
It's
and
like
his,
voodoo.
And his house was just peppered with ghosts.
I'd always like to. I would love to go to Haiti one day, and well, I guess even New Orleans is that way with the voodoo thing, right? But
Yeah,
Haiti
yeah,
is
yeah,
like whatever. So is it literally say
It's
Phoenix?
in
is the-
Arizona,
Arizona.
dude. It says Phoenix, Arizona has become the kidnapping capital of
Well,
America.
of America,
Wait, listen.
yeah.
With more incidents than any other city in the world outside of Mexico City.
Oh,
And over 370 cases last year alone.
well, you know what that is in Arizona or Phoenix? That's not kidnap. That's alien abduction.
That's
Dude,
fine. Oh,
guys,
that's good. Good point.
This
Yeah.
is kind of
That's alien
sad, but
abduction.
this is the world we live in. Is that kidnapping happens everywhere we walk upon.
Yeah.
Literally, there's a mall not a few miles down the street where this kidnapper just got caught about a month or two ago. He would go into stores, into dressing rooms, and kidnap these girls.
Is that Partridge Creek?
Whoa.
No, it's Lakeside.
Exactly.
And-
Thank God they shut that place down for the corona.
And what
Saved a lot of people's
They
life.
found him. They found a girl in his car, and they caught him bringing another one to his car.
Oh my gosh.
How
Did you
messed
know
up
that,
is
did you know that your mom hung out at a house when she was a teenager, and at that house the same people she was hanging out with cut some girl's head off and put it in the freezer?
Is that true story, Mom?
So, yes, it's a true story.
Oh my fuck.
So it was my best friend, the house across the street. So let's preface it with that was the the place where everybody went to go get the marijuana at that time.
Allegedly.
The weed.
Allegedly.
Yes,
El
The weed.
that was the weed house.
That was the weed house.
So it wasn't actually those people. I think it was a mom and a kid that had lived there. But it was like, I don't know if it was like, I can't remember if it was friends or family of them came and stayed. And it was those people who actually did it. You know,
Yeah,
because
and what it was
everybody
is
would
a girl
come and would
like-
hang out
yeah,
there and
yeah,
smoke weed
yeah,
and stuff like that.
And this girl was like 14. She ran
Yeah.
away from home. She got to this
She was
place and
staying
they
there,
yeah,
and
and
then
they hacksawed her head off and put it in the
unfortunately-
freezer.
Yeah, it was pretty damn
That's-
crazy and effed up for
Yeah,
sure.
it was like 3 blocks away from where I lived.
From the Detroit, baby. We from
No, that
the
was
city.
that was in Warren,
Yeah.
Michigan.
We
That was
cut
like
your head
suburbia
off.
over there,
Yeah.
you know. I
That's
mean,
some
but
we
pretty
live in
fucked up
we
shit
live in
for
the
sure.
dub.
yeah, he went to our school, and your mom knew him, and they cut people's heads off over there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, God bless her soul.
Amen.
Sorry, too soon.
Too soon.
Too soon.
I don't
It's been
think
like
so.
Not soon
30.
enough.
It's been like 35 years.
Oh yeah,
you
we
know.
can bless a soul.
I mean, it still sucks. I'm not making fun of, but
It's
that
just
was-
crazy. That's wild to hear.
But it's just
Dude,
weird that people
imagine
do
Just
that.
messed
how
up
many
people.
imagine how many heads are in freezers that we don't know about.
Oh, hundreds
Yeah.
of thousands.
Yeah.
Of
So many heads.
So
It's crazy. That
I was
is
watching.
crazy.
I was watching a show last
So
night.
many
I was
heads.
watching a show last night. And, this is so off fucking topic. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Who
It
cares?
just shit pops in my head.
That's it.
I was watching a show last night because I couldn't
Ancient
sleep.
aliens?
No, it was actually about Pompeo, or it's actually it
Pompeii?
wasn't called Pompeii.
You
It was
watch
actually called something
The
else.
weirdest, boring shit. But,
But it was Pompeii, but it was like the town is actually called like Herculea or something like that. That
Yeah.
Pompeii actually killed the people.
Yeah.
But they said that pyroplastic flow was so hot it exploded people's heads.
Oh yeah, dude. Me and Maria
The
were looking
brains
at
would
that.
Wow.
the brain turned. They found brain fragments that were glass.
So I
The
wonder
brain
how
turned to
long-
glass.
Isn't that
How long
crazy?
does that take? Like,
Like-
does it go from zero to the like?
Yeah.
Oh
that
yeah, we
to
were
where
talking
it's
like that.
fast?
That cloud is thousands of degrees.
Yeah.
It's like the sun.
So I mean,
falling on
like
you.
Yeah.
from your
Room-
standpoint,
yeah.
like
You'd be dead
it
within
wouldn't
seconds.
Be it wouldn't be a bad death
No,
because you'd
no.
be dead before
and that's
you
why
even knew.
in Pompeii or wherever
Yeah.
Herculea or whatever it's called, they have like they are literally the expressions on their face are still they're carbonized. There
Yeah.
was so much heat that it carbonized.
Rumor has it that literally that's how strong Snoop Dogg's weed is.
Oh,
Like if you don't
shit.
smoke, you'll smoke it, your head will explode.
Yeah, your head explodes.
It's crazy. So don't fuck with that stuff,
I
guys.
wasn't
Yeah,
planning
Snoop
on
is,
but
it
It
thanks for the
fries
heads up.
it fries your brain like an egg if you didn't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Nancy,
This is
your
the
brain on
Nancy-
drugs.
The
This
is
Nancy
your
Reagan, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I grew
Yeah.
up with.
This is your brain on drugs. Utica, Michigan. I just mentioned. Did I tell you this, guys? That Utica, Michigan legalized recreational marijuana.
Which is crazy.
I thought the whole state did.
Well, the whole state did, but then most of the cities banned it. So
Oh,
there was only
fuck.
like 3 cities in the whole
shit.
state.
it was like Flint and Detroit and like a couple other places. Ann
Right.
Arbor. And
Allegedly still breaking the law.
Yeah.
Well, no, you're not breaking the law because you can have it,
But
you
you
just
couldn't
can't
have a
buy
dispensary.
it. Couldn't buy it. So
Yeah.
our city just legalized it.
Which
Gang.
allegedly.
So, No, I heard that it happened. Of
That's
course, I
cool.
don't smoke weed. I wish I could smoke weed. I think if I smoked weed, my life would be better.
Probably.
I agree.
But you'd also be in the hospital.
If it
I agree.
did what
I
it's
agree.
supposed to do. Now that's the problem.
I think it would do the opposite for
That's
me.
what I-
Though.
well,
It would drive me into
That's
insanity.
what I'm
You know.
saying is because your body's weird and like it
So
doesn't really
weird.
act good to drugs. But
No.
if it,
The thing
if you
is-
could get the effects that it's supposed to give, it
There
would be
were-
good for you.
I know there is a strain out
That
there
would
that
work.
would work for you.
That's
Yeah.
right.
But you're never gonna take it, and that's
No,
fine.
I'm
you
just
don't
too
have
afraid.
to. You
No,
don't
I know,
have
I'm too
to.
afraid.
And if you're already going into it afraid, there's no way it's not going to make you afraid.
But I think mom could seek some very great benefits from it.
yes, I've heard.
You know,
of,
someone told me a story.
friends told me.
Who was it? Was one of the folks that came this last weekend with KB Reptiles. I can't remember who. Oh, it was Matt. I won't say his name. A friend of ours named Matt.
Too late.
It was a friend of ours named Matt. I won't say his last name. He's a reptile breeder, and he said
great.
that he was down in like a reptile show, and that they that he liked candy. I don't know what it was. Brownies, cookies, whatever it was. And this guy gave him a cookie. It was hey, here you go. And he just like crushed it.
Oh no.
And the guy was like, you ate that whole fucking cookie?
See,
and he was
that's
like,
my fear.
Yeah. And he said, the guy said, he goes, where are you staying? He goes, across the street. He goes, you need to go there right now. And you need to go into your room. You need to go in your room and you need to not come out. He goes, just stay in your room. And he said that he literally,
Alone?
yeah.
That's
So he
not
said,
very
he
nice.
said he started walking. He got to the street. This was at Tinley and he was staying across the street at the hotels. He said it was about 11 o'clock at night. He said he has no idea what happened, but he got to his room at 4 a.m.
Yep, that'll happen.
Doesn't remember anything.
That was
Doesn't remember
shitty for that
anything.
guy to do
That's
that
awesome.
to him. Like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like, I love
Weed. No,
I love sweets, candy, cookies,
a handful of
stuff
gummy
like
bears.
that. And you can't even, and that's why I would never do edibles, because that's the thing. Like, I
potent.
can't just take a little
potent.
piece of something. If I'm going to have a brownie, I'm going to have a big old piece or half the pan, or I'm going to have a whole or 6 cookies.
That's the fun part.
And then I die.
You will die, but you'll want to die for sure.
That's the best part. You don't die.
Yeah, you'll feel like you're dying,
feel like it.
but you ain't dying.
I was
That's
in
just
in
terrible.
Canada, and Canada, it's legal.
Yeah, I know
nationwide,
Canada.
And which we can't get to now. It's closed.
Yeah.
Can't go to Canada anymore, even though
Oh,
it's 20
shucks.
minutes away from us. Lindsay said she'd be down to smoke with Lori.
do
Come
it.
on, Lindsay, get up here.
come on.
Lindsay Ray, let's smoke some weed.
Oh my god.
I literally couldn't fucking take one hit and I'd probably die. But so anyways, I was in Canada a couple years ago
Or
at
you
a reptile
really
show.
chill out. It's hard to
And
say.
and there was some snacks on a table, and I I can't remember what kind. It was like whatever, gummy bears or whatever it was. And I ate a couple of them, and the person said that they said, that this is weed, right? And I freaked out. I was like, oh my fucking god! But thankfully they were joking. Immediately they said, no, I'm joking. It's good. I was like, yeah, because kids could walk up and grab them. You know what I mean? But
Some
that's
people
what
do that,
scares
yeah.
me is that I don't want to be at a party or at someone's house and then
Well, don't
like,
worry,
Just don't
because
eat
we
rogue
go to
gummy
parties,
bears
so
anymore.
we're
yeah,
good.
right. Never again. No more rogue gummy
No more candy
bears.
dishes for you.
That was
guys.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was at this comedy.
Damn Halloween. That's what I hand out in Halloween.
Oh
All the
my god,
kids.
could you imagine?
I know people were tripping about that last year. They were like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, you're gonna give me."
Listen.
No one's giving away free weed.
Free
damn
weed,
it.
yeah. You're
And that
dumb.
was when we were kids. That was all about they were giving out LSD.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh,
that's
my
right.
God.
Yeah.
That would have been
Yeah.
a crazy.
Wish I
Halloween.
was
Well,
a
it was
kid
always
during
funny
that
because when
time.
I was a kid at Halloween, my mom and dad, dad
give
wasn't
out
around. My
LSD.
mom they would like spread the candy
yeah.
out afterwards. And did they know what they were looking for? Like
Well,
seriously, are they
we-
experts?
Just razor blades.
We
Yeah,
had
well,
to
yeah, that's the other
throw
thing.
away any open pieces, but honestly, at some points we would go to the police station and they would X-ray it too.
Oh shit!
But that was
hey
Detroit.
Jay, can you pull up?
Yeah.
Jay, pull the shit up.
Pull the shit up.
Have you ever? Has anyone ever gotten a razor blade in an apple?
If anybody gets an apple, they throw it away. Nobody's
but
eating it anyway.
I mean, that's got to be an urban legend,
Who wants
right?
a damn apple?
I mean, that's
for
got to be an
trick or
urban
treat?
legend. Is it an urban legend?
So
Poison candy myths. Let's see if this is.
I wonder if there's
It's
anything. I
not
just can't
poison.
believe.
A razor blade isn't poison, Jay.
But
No,
I
I know,
can't
but
believe
I'm
anyone
sure
ever
No, it says-
actually
yeah,
did it.
I
Such as-
know, but
Yeah. So it says an urban legends about
Malevolent strangers hiding poisons and sharp objects. As far as
razor
razor blades,
blades,
needles.
all of that. Yes.
Stories even serve as modern cautionary tales to children and parents and repeat two themes that are common in urban legends: danger to children and contamination of food. No cases of strangers killing or permanently injuring children this way has ever been proven.
See,
Cool.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. It's kind of like, again, we all know as snake people that if you're out and about and you tell someone that you keep snakes, everybody has a story of
The sizing up.
Right. I
There's
have
three
a friend.
stories, yeah.
I have a friend that their snake, pet snake, they would sleep in bed with them. And it kept on like stretching out from
Big
head to
snake,
tail, and finally they took it to the vet because the vet didn't know what was wrong with the snake, and the vet said, "Oh my God, so lucky you came here because it was sizing you up and about to eat you." So that's one story that happens all the time, which is obviously the other thing is, and this happened this weekend like 4 times. And listen, I don't think people think they're lying, but it like I said, happened at least 4 times this weekend to me this last weekend, where people said, the reason I'm so afraid of snakes is when I was a kid, I was bitten by a rattlesnake. You know, now I just can't believe all these people have been bitten by rattlesnakes as kids, right? I think that they're not, I don't think they're liars. I just think that they
are coping, using it as a coping
You
mechanism.
know as well as I do that most snakes rattle their tails to mimic that. So maybe that's it.
Well,
maybe it got bit by a snake in the wild that was doing the tail.
Yeah, the one guy that came said, and I, you know, hopefully he's not watching, and I don't mean anything if sorry, maybe I'm wrong, but he said that he got bit and then he was in the hospital for 3 months. And you know, rattlesnakes just don't do that. You know, I mean, you can't get bit and be in the hospital for 3 months. You know,
what are you in there for?
Why not? I don't know.
Well, if you get bit by a rattlesnake, it's going to be maybe a week if it's really severe.
It's a hemotoxin
really
usually,
severe.
right?
But most of the time you're in the hospital for 12 hours, 15 hours, maybe a day or something like that, and whatever. But that's the other. Or the other thing is that, you know, my brother threw a snake on me when I was a kid. You know, that's the other one, and maybe that's more common.
That is
that's
very
the one
common
I hear.
because kids are assholes.
Yeah, but I wonder if I wonder how many people really
have had that happen.
You know, because it seems. I mean, maybe it's true.
There's
but
a lot of asshole kids.
Honestly, that one's like not far fetched though.
Yeah, I didn't say it's far fetched. I
think
just
the
wonder how
amount
many
of it,
people.
yeah.
Because like, trust me, oh my god, like
There's no snakes.
I mean, you've been there too.
in the city, but I'm not gonna lie. Like if I
Heidi
found one,
said-
I probably would have thrown it at Uncle
Heidi
Bob.
said
no,
that.
that's what I mean. Is like when you're a kid, especially us little boys, like. I mean, like, I could totally see myself finding, like, a garter snake and being like, oh, I have, like, this crush on this girl. I'm going to throw it on her.
Exactly.
Because this is going to get her to want you.
No, yeah, for
She's
sure.
going to
that's
want
what
me after I
boys
do this.
For torture the girls you like when you're little.
I know.
Yes.
I don't know why we do that or did that. Like, what's wrong with us? Why don't we just, like, flirt with them instead of being assholes?
Exactly.
Like,
That's what kids do.
but that's what we do. So
Yeah.
if there's any little girls watching out, there's a guy picking on you. He likes you.
Yeah, Heidi said that if you're sleeping with snakes, you're already messed up.
Yeah. I saw a few of those comments.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And there is
listen,
another,
I slept with RJ once in a bed.
That's
you know.
true. That's
I
true.
did. I slept in RJ once, and I of course slept with Bella the night we got her. Bella slept in bed with me under my pillow.
That's
So maybe
dangerous.
Why is it dangerous?
Crush
Which
her.
part? The gator part might be dangerous. That might have been
Yeah.
something that wasn't the smartest idea, but Bella was good. She loved me. She's such a good girl.
There is one more rumor that always goes around too, and it's
What's
that the alligator snapping turtle
Snapping
with a
turtles,
musket ball.
musket ball. So if
Let's hear this.
yeah, so essentially almost, and this has happened even at a couple zoos.
And I've been there
with,
for
yeah,
it.
with curators of zoos. Almost anyone with an old alligator snapping turtle like Bowser will always seem to have this thing like, we don't know how old he is, but they found a musket ball in him from the Civil War. Which is completely bull. I mean, like everybody with a snapping turtle thinks there was a musket ball in it, with the exception of me. I've never told that story about the musket ball. But
you know what I do love about, like, I love history and stuff. It's very interesting to me. And when we went to DC,
yes,
we had a road trip on a bus or blah blah blah. So we stopped by some places in like Virginia and stuff.
Yeah.
And back then, you know, there was like civil wars and
Sure.
stuff near there and in those states. And there's like towns still that they haven't touched them. Like
Yeah.
they still operate and
Sure.
stuff out of the buildings, but like in the bars, like there'll be walls just like that will have actually like cannonballs.
Yeah,
in
I've
them,
seen that before.
and they're just like pelted up with bullet holes and stuff from the war. That stuff is so cool to me. Like just like the history is like
Makes it real.
rich
Yeah.
over there.
no, it is. Yeah, the east side of the country, New England's pretty wild. There's no doubt about
The
that.
ghost hunting is supposed to be really good over there too.
No, it
Doggy.
really is. It really is.
Yeah.
They oh man,
We gotta do some ghost hunting this summer.
Gettysburg is
isn't that
awesome.
where,
Have you ever been?
I've been to Gettysburg once by accident.
Have you been?
Yeah,
Gettysburg?
remember
By
we were
accident,
remember
we
we were
got
we got lost going to Maryland. We got lost and we ended up in Gettysburg at like 4 a.m.
Yeah,
Like 4
you
a.m. We're like, oh shit, this is Gettysburg.
If you watch, you probably could have seen something like a ghost or something.
Oh, I'm sure there's a
it's
lot
so
of
cool.
deaths
Like
there,
we
yeah.
like there's like hills and stuff, right? And there's like old like little like mini castle things, more just like
Yeah.
bricks in the shape of like a little
Sure.
output tower or whatever.
Yeah.
But they allow you to go in there and stuff,
Yeah.
and like there's like vintage cannons and stuff, and there's literally fields of where the battlefield is pretty much untouched. Like there's still broken down cannons.
Yeah.
And
I used to love that
all
stuff when I was a
that.
kid because we used to, well, me and your mom and I went to Fort Michilimackinac this last summer. or whenever it was this summer, I think it was. And they have a fort there that was like, whatever during the wars back then, the French War and stuff like that. And it's cool because they reenact this stuff. They've got the soldiers all there and they shoot the muskets and all that stuff. It's just pretty cool. I remember when I was a kid being able to actually, did you ever do this where they actually pour the lead for the musket ball? Yeah, we did this. I'm so old.
I can go to my dad's and
I'm so old,
No.
unfortunately. I'm so old that I was part of, I was in, what was I, maybe second grade when the bicentennial happened. Of course, the 200th year anniversary of the Civil War ending, right?
Yeah, I was too young for that.
So I remember, like, that's what was, that whole year was like reenacting Civil War or not the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, not the Civil War. But it was pretty cool. So I've always been into that stuff. History is really cool. What do we got here? Anything else good going on?
Nothing too crazy as far as the chat goes. Someone said type if you like Olive Garden. Don't know why, but
that's good.
I'm not a big
I'm not a spirit box. No, those suck. I hate spirit boxes personally. I don't like them.
This person hates Olive Garden.
I'm not a big Olive Garden fan. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I think it's average at best.
It's like
mid.
the Applebee's of Italian food.
We used to like it a lot.
Mid.
Yeah,
but we found
mids.
better places.
Yeah, I think that we used to like fucking Old Country Buffet too,
Oh
which
my God.
like
Yeah,
that's old.
Corona
time. I'm sorry, Noah. I swear I
that was the shit when we were growing up. I don't even. That was might even
that
be,
was before
That was
me.
pre
I never
Noah.
went.
Yeah, we would go.
Jimmy Mendelin said,
This is a downer.
95 years ago today, America's deadliest tornado in U.S. history crossed 3 states, killed 700 people. That's too bad.
May those who survived be in peace.
Oh, I don't know that many are alive still 95 years later. Let's see. Sarah says, here in Chicago, everyone is quarantining, so that means rewatching your old videos. Thanks for still posting. Thank you, Sarah. And that's, Jay and I spoke about
Sarah.
this. And hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Jay and I talked about this today, and I do feel a big responsibility to be able to put out content continuously. You know what I mean? I think that, not that I'm somehow some savior or something like that. I'm just saying that, if we can bring that normalcy to people's lives and positivity, I think that it's going to be important because people are going to struggle this next few weeks.
Well, and their routines are all gone, right? Their kids aren't in school. They're not working. And if we could be that little beacon of hope for everybody, I think it's important too.
Ed's Fish said Ponderosa when I was a kid. Ponderosa was legitimately was the best. When I was a kid, Ponderosa might as well have been fucking Ruth Chris.
Oh, for sure.
Because it was the best ever.
Ever got to go out to
No,
eat.
that was the
But when we
shit.
did,
Ooh.
you'd go to Ponderosa. And me and you, we went one time like, when we
it
first
was so
started
bad. It
dating.
was so
we're
bad.
like, we were both reliving like the childhood
Yeah, Ponderosa.
And oh my God, we were both
The
like,
steak
what?
was like a quarter inch thick.
It
It was grizzly.
Like,
See, that's the thing, Noah. You really grew up like so spoiled because
I know that.
Like, remember we used to like legitimately, Noah would like, I don't want steak again. It's so disgusting. Can I get some chicken fingers? You know what I mean? Like, because
Kids do love
we had
them
like
chicken
good
fingers,
steaks,
though.
man.
I still do eat chicken fingers like
Same.
3 times a week. But I have a funny video that I want to do with you. But I don't know if you'll do it with me because you never do these videos with me.
Tell me, what is it?
Hot challenge. One of the hot gummy bear challenges.
do it. You like hot shit anyway.
I'll do it, but I'm not a fan of it.
This is the thing. Is
Yes.
that
You don't have
it
to be a fan.
it literally does only last 15 minutes after you're done.
15 minutes is a long.
No, it's not.
It's almost a half an hour.
Only.
That's a long.
No, it's not. It's
time.
half of a half an hour.
Yeah,
Don't
which
get
is
it
almost half
twisted.
of an hour.
It's half an hour.
It's half of a half an hour.
But you gotta do it with me, and I'm not gonna spoil it. But we're gonna do a twist on just normal. We're not just gonna eat it in front of a camera and be like, "Oh, it's so hot."
We're not gonna put it in our butt or something.
No, that's
Good.
for the next
Butt
time.
chug.
Oh, shit.
But this is gonna be a good one. This has never been done on YouTube before.
What?
and
Logan Paul said that once.
I'm excited.
It didn't work out so well for him.
Jeez.
Oh wow, never seen before.
Never seen before on YouTube.
Suicide Forest.
No. Sorry, Logan. I love you, bro.
But so this is.
I
I'm just
mentioned about
excited.
going on
We
Logan
gotta
Paul.
do this.
I mentioned about going on Logan Paul, and some people commented in the comments like, well, "I'm not going to watch you anymore."
That's so
You know?
stupid.
Yeah, of course.
It's so
You know
stupid.
what? You
Doesn't
can.
matter
You
what
can.
you say.
You can leave now.
Yeah, you could say that you don't like Logan
So
Paul,
I
and
will.
then people would not watch
I will take it under advisement
He'll
about your
do
gummy.
it.
No, you
gummy
guys
doing
do
challenge.
it.
this? Tomorrow?
Do this.
Yeah, we're
No,
doing it
not tomorrow.
tomorrow.
You gotta
Yeah,
give
yeah,
me a
we're
little
doing it
time.
tomorrow. You
Why?
said.
I'm still coping with Corona.
There's
No,
no
no,
time.
no.
What
There's
better
no
way?
time
We're doing
like
this
the
after the
present.
podcast.
Not tonight.
Yeah.
No.
After the
I can't do it
podcast.
tonight.
Yeah, yeah.
Fine,
He
I'll
said
do
you're
it.
good.
That's fine.
Your appointments are
You're
cleared.
Tomorrow.
No, no.
Let's do it tomorrow.
That's fine. Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow.
Okay, I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Fuck. Why did I say that?
It's
And it's on
it's
film.
on film.
Everyone hold them to it.
Man.
Yes, yes. This is awesome. It's honestly not that bad.
Yeah, but you eat crazy stuff. I'm not a big.
Yeah.
I like spicy. I don't like
Right.
hot.
Same.
Right.
You know, this is the problem with eating
Makes it
like really
tolerable.
hot stuff. I like start to get panic. Like I'm like, is it ever gonna stop? It's getting worse, and it panics me.
You're fine.
You like it.
Because it does stop.
I like
And we know
spicy
that.
stuff, but I don't like hot stuff. I don't
And the
like
thing-
ghost pepper
And the
stuff.
thing we're gonna do is actually pretty flavorful, in a good way.
All right, we're
You'll
gonna
like
do
it.
this, but I'm not sure I'm excited about it. But we'll do it. You know, I mean,
Where's Bob at? Well, Bob's not here, but maybe we'll get him on the podcast.
Bob, who?
Who's Bob?
My brother.
Oh, B.O.B.
Who said that? Who said
I
that?
don't know.
Said,
Where's Bob, at?
Well, there's a great, you know.
Oh, they meant to say BHB.
Oh, BHP.
How do you know?
Because they just
well, they're
retyped
asking
it.
about Bob.
It is one of my favorite movies, though. What about Bob?
What about Bob? That
What
was a
about Bob
great
is one of
movie.
my favorite movies. Have you ever seen that, Jay? Of course not, because he
Nope.
doesn't watch movies.
Yeah, that's a
What
good
about
point.
Bob is a great
I did
movie.
finally watch that the Joker though.
The
which
Joker
great.
was amazing. Laura, you haven't seen The Joker yet.
No, I gotta bring it
haven't
back.
either.
No.
You haven't seen it? Let's go home and watch it tonight.
I'm good.
Jesus. We
I'm
got to
not
watch
interested
movies
in
now.
being depressed right
That's a
now.
fair point.
It's a very depressing movie.
It's a heavy movie for sure.
What I just recently watched.
Did you watch? I gave you Mr. Rogers, didn't I?
I think we're watching that tonight.
Oh, that was a good one.
What I recently just watched, because it's still on Netflix. I think they took it off for a period of time, but it's back now. Thank God, because I love it so much. It's probably one of my favorite films of all time.
What's that?
Whoa.
Kill Bill series.
Oh yeah,
that's
you
a
were
good one.
obsessed with
Yeah,
that.
it was
I know.
good.
I
That's
love
good.
Tarantino, so
Yeah,
I
that's
saw they
good.
were back on. And I was like, yes, we
Nice.
got to watch them. Watch them both. They still hold up. It's still great. I'm still
they are
happy
good.
with them.
No, they're
They're so good. They're
Tarantino's great.
so good.
Well,
and
it's
it's only
funny.
it's his fourth film.
Really?
Kill Bill is his fourth ever film, and it's
Wow,
like
that's
that
crazy.
tier. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah, no,
like,
he's next level. There's no doubt about that. Hateful Eight was great too.
Hateful Eight. Oh,
That was a great one.
which one that he makes isn't good?
Yeah. What would he just recently make that you told me he was a director and I was surprised by? Like his most recent. Can you look that up, Jay?
the Hollywood one,
Tarantino. Maybe it was the Hollywood
no,
one.
the Hollywood.
Quentin Tarantino's newest movie.
I think I got close to that.
Yeah,
We're
I
gonna
think you
see
got it
right
enough.
here. Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, Once
is-
Upon a
Oh
Time
yeah, I
in
heard that's
Hollywood, yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's like it's only 2 hours and 40 minutes. I thought it was like 3 hours and 20 minutes. That's
I didn't
because I
watch
have
it.
that movie.
I heard it's
But I
really,
haven't-
really good.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
know-
Blake says, hope y'all having a good day. Enjoy the pod. Whoop,
Oops,
I
sorry,
lost you.
brother. There you
Enjoyed the podcast while waiting to pick up my Quince monitor at Walmart parking lot. Listen, number one, congratulations
This
on the
is so
Quince.
funny.
But why is it that all reptile deals happen in a parking lot? It happens like is that like not the
Every
normal
snake I've
thing?
ever bought.
Yeah.
And did you know that there was a? Do you remember? And I'm going to just say, let's see, Lindsay Ray, Death Proof is my. Death Proof is great.
Death
That's a that's a Tarantino. That's a good one. Yeah, Lindsay, you are right on. You got to check that one out.
So a lot of people were hating on the movie Django. Remember
I
that
loved
one?
it.
Oh my gosh,
But
that was
they,
loved
they
it.
were hating on it from a racism
I
standpoint.
see what you're
Stupid.
saying. I see what you're saying.
But this is where I disagree because I've been I've watched interviews and stuff from it, even from Jamie Foxx, who was the main actor.
Yeah.
exactly.
And he's yeah.
It is actually really cool because it is true and it is sad that like there's
That there
not
wasn't.
more films with like black people like
Lead
as the
actors,
lead
yeah,
actors
lead
and
actors,
them
yeah.
being like the hero.
Right.
In that movie, Django, yes, there was a lot of N-words, but he was a superhero.
Right, yeah.
He saved everybody. He got the
Yeah.
hot woman at
Yeah,
the
he
end
did
of
all
it.
the right things.
Yeah, like
he did all the
killed
right
it.
things. Yeah.
So I thought that was really
Yeah.
cool.
I
was
think
just
that's
like
why
that.
Black Panther was so
Huge.
right? Is because they finally broke that
Yeah.
stereotype.
Make a
It was-
role
yeah.
model for.
Which
Yeah.
I think there really needs to be more of. I think
Yeah, I agree with you.
because I won't get into details why, like whatever, but I think that there really should be more things like with other races. Okay, this is gonna get a little weird, but it's fine.
Okay.
Obviously, we're white, okay?
Yeah.
And so when we watch movies, or at least from me, like I see that they're white people, but I don't think about it.
Right.
And then recently, you guys know why, but I'm not gonna say it. Things have changed my perspective.
Sure.
Stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, it's mostly just white people.
Yeah.
That's kind of messed up.
You don't see a
Like,
whole lot of other
right.
ethnicities, Yep. Represented.
And
But it's changing.
it is
slowly.
changing. It is
It's-
changing,
yeah.
which is good.
Yeah.
But
It is good.
I didn't realize how much that is, and it makes me feel bad a little bit. I'm just like, oh my god, like that's kind of fucked up.
Well,
Like
yeah, it is.
even Bobby Lee, like one of my favorite comedians, he was talking about how hard it was for him coming
Sure.
up into the movie scene, the comedy scene, because the only roles that they
Yeah.
would take
Yeah, it's him
for,
being like
for
a
Asian people
it's like kung
is
fu guy or something.
right, just like something stupid like owning
a restaurant, yeah, Chinese restaurant.
A cart, one of those food carts or
Own,
something.
yeah, like owning a liquor store or whatever,
yeah.
and being like, "Don't touch, buy, whatever." Like, and
You want
yeah,
chicken
like,
fried rice?
You know what I mean?
You
It's
want
just
chicken fried-
different stuff.
No,
but-
I totally agree with you.
And
That's
I agree
crazy.
too. Just to throw like a little bit of like a weirdness
Yeah.
into that, like, but is it, obviously it's an art form to direct a play or a movie or to write that stuff. Isn't it kind of up to that artist of who he decides he wants to put in and what type of people should play those roles?
Well, it's not up to the artists, it's up to the studios, right? And the studios are the ones that are the problem. I mean, that's like, one of the most inspirational stories I've ever heard was the Sylvester Stallone story. Do you guys know this story
No,
about
I do
Rocky?
not.
So he wrote Rocky,
okay.
the movie,
I didn't
and he
know
was
that.
a nobody. He was homeless. Homeless.
Really?
Living
What?
in a van, homeless. And the studio offered him, like, can you punch this up? Sylvester Stallone, Rocky,
You got it. You got
whatever. You'll find it. They offered him something like $100,000 for a homeless guy, but he wanted to star in it. Or no, it was like it was like a lot. It was like maybe 1.5 million or maybe 500,000 or something like that. I can't wait to see the actual numbers. But he said, no, I want to, so say they offered him $300,000 as a homeless guy. He said, I want to star in it. They said, no, we want some big name to star in it, right? Yeah, here we go. Maybe I wonder if it'll say something about this, but
Here we go. I think right here, right in the early 70s, he was an unknown actor trying to make it in New York. Had some minor success in the movie Lords of Flatbush, but he was still broke. After the Lords of Flatbush, I decided it was time to come to California. So he moved there. As a matter of fact, I actually had to go out and try to sell my dog.
Yeah, he sold his dog because he didn't have enough money to live.
And then one night, I went out to see Muhammad Ali fight Chuck Wepner.
Yep.
And what I saw was pretty extraordinary. I saw a man called the Bayonne Bleeder fight the greatest fighter who ever lived. And for one brief moment, this supposed stumble bum, right? Is that it?
Yeah,
Stumble bum?
yeah.
Turned out to be a magnificent. And he lasted and knocked the champ down. I thought, if this isn't a metaphor for life.
So what ended up happening, anyways, it didn't get into the details, but ultimately something on the lines of like the studio offered him $300,000.
$360,000 right here.
Yeah, $360,000 for a script. He turned it down. He had no car, $106 in the bank, sold his dog to pay his bills, and he said, no, I'm not taking the $360,000. I want to star in my own thing. They ended up giving him like $30,000 to do it with him in it. 30. So think about this. This guy literally turned down $360,000. He had to, and the story, I guess the story goes that literally when he finally broke it and Rocky became huge, he bought his dog back for like $5,000.
That's crazy.
He like went to the guy that paid him like $500 for his dog or whatever it is and said,
So
here's
I didn't know that.
$5,000.
So Stallone actually wrote the Rocky.
He wrote the thing and he would not allow someone else to be the
That's
star.
so cool.
Even
Good
though the
for
studio
him.
was like, nope, we'll give you $360. And finally they said, we like the script enough, we'll give you $30,000. And that's why they literally, I don't know if you know this, they drove around Philadelphia in the back of a van, would jump out and just film wherever they stopped. There was no movie sets, nothing.
Yeah.
They had like $30,000 to film the entire movie Rocky. But this is what I'm saying about the studios really control everything. And unless you
Yeah.
have how many people would have the balls to do what he did? Turn down $360,000 in the
That's true.
70s when you're homeless to stick with it. And now he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, obviously.
It's a great
just because,
story. I
so
can't
it is-
believe I didn't
Which-
know that.
it's one of the
360
greatest, yeah.
with inflation or whatever, that's probably around $1 million.
Probably $1
right
million.
now.
So if someone offered you $1 million for your concept and you were like, no, I want to act in this. And
Depends
they
on what it
literally said,
was.
if you read the story, it's an amazing story. They literally said, you're not good looking and you talk funny. And they're like, you'll never make it in Hollywood.
Now look at him.
And now look at him. It's
fucking
an amazing
Rambo.
story.
It's a great story because it just tells, it's another one for anybody who,
Believes in yourself.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what anybody says or what people do. If you want it, you just keep
they
going
wanted
it.
Burt Reynolds to be Rocky.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, if you go, it's a story from Forbes, the amazing story of making of Rocky. If you want to read it,
It's literally, truly one of the most
pretty cool.
inspiring stories I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, because Burt Reynolds was hot back then.
Yeah, they wanted this big actor, like they do now. That goes back to your point, is that rather than plugging in the guy that maybe should be in the role that might even be a minority, they're going to plug Brad Pitt or
somebody
big
we
actor.
know, so that people go to the box office, right?
And it's funny that one time I had a TV executive tell me this. They said, if I greenlight a TV show with some big actor in it, whatever, Shia LaBeouf or something like that, and it fails, I can then go back to my boss and say, well, you know what? I don't know, Shia LaBeouf, it should have worked. And they go on. They said, I greenlight a project with Brian Barczyk in it, and it fails, I lose my job. Because why would you put this money into Brian Barczyk? Put it into Shia LaBeouf, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of, I think, is what happens with the studios as well.
Well, I think there's other things too, though.
Well, sure, there's always going to be racism and all that type of stuff that happens. That's part of what it is. But I think, again, I like the fact that that's changing.
I like a lot of those new movies. Oh my god! Of course, right now I'm blanking on the name. I always do. Freaking Jordan Peele.
Oh yeah.
I like a lot of his new movies.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, that like Us was really crazy. And what was the other one? There was Us, and then there was the other creepy one that was similar to Us.
Yeah, but he's making good movies right now too. I like him a lot.
Oh, Get Out. Get Out was his. Yeah, that's
Get Out was
really
Out.
good. Yeah, those are. Us was crazy. For those of you guys that didn't watch Us, you got to check that out. That was a wild movie.
Oh yeah, this is it. This is awesome. So yeah, the last two ones have been hits. Us and Get Out, and then there's this new one that he's dropping, Candyman. That one looks really good too.
Candyman is a remake. Yeah, it's a remake of
right.
the movie Candyman.
Well,
yeah, that looks amazing.
So he's gonna post this one in 2020.
Yeah,
so that one's gonna be awesome too.
You wonder if things are going to get delayed now because did you hear that Stranger Things stopped production?
No.
Yeah, they stopped production. Stranger Things stopped production because of the virus.
Because the Demogorgons.
What can they do?
I think things. I mean, it's getting wild out there. But again, I think that for those of you guys that have joined us that wasn't with us at the beginning of the podcast. Things are going to get better, guys. It really is. This isn't this is not the situation where you say this is no big deal, because it is a huge deal. It is a monstrous deal. It's changing our lives in many ways. But that being said, we have history on our side, and history tells us that viruses don't last, right? Mm-hmm. There's going to be a lot of pain. There's going to be a lot of loss. There's going to be a lot of horrible times over the next month, 2 months. But this will go away, and we will resume life, and we will hopefully appreciate life better. I know when I go out to a restaurant for the first time in a couple months, it's going to be a pretty special thing. And it's going to feel weird, right? After a couple months of not going to a restaurant, not going to a movie, not going to the gym, not going to any facilities, to all of a sudden be able to do that freely, it's going to almost feel like we've been released from jail, right?
In a way, yeah, for sure.
And so it's pretty amazing.
That's kind of one thing I was thinking about, not talking about, but thinking about, was just as I already do appreciate my freedom, but I think this is going to help other people appreciate their freedom.
Realize how good we have it.
Yeah, because I think that's one thing that
and it's going to give us more time,
granted.
like I was saying. I personally am looking forward to more family time. I am. I'm looking forward to it.
This is
we haven't had
things down.
Yeah,
just a notch.
take a little breath. It's been a wild year and a half for us. It's been many years, but the last year and a half in particular has been extra wild. Yep. And so to be able to enjoy it a little bit is something I'm looking forward to. And I know that we as a society and we as a community are going to get through this, and we're going to be okay, and we're here for everybody, and we're going to continue to try to preach, positivity and to one of the things I want to do on the podcast, or not on the podcast, but the vlog, and I'll do it right now for a minute, is just preach a little bit of good news, right? And the good news about this virus is that obviously everyone knows it started in China, You know, China had tens of thousands of cases. There were times where there was a few thousand cases a day being diagnosed in China. You know, yesterday, the entire country of China had 15 new cases. 15. To give you an idea, the U.S. had like 1,500 yesterday. So my point is that China peaked and are now getting better. You know, they opened 6 hospitals in China for the coronavirus, have now shut all 6 of them down because they don't need them anymore. Apple announced that they are going to open up in China. There is a vaccine that's being tested right now, a couple different vaccines that are being tested right now. We will pass. You know, we will pass. We will
That's
get
one
back to
thing I
life.
was saying. Was like, again, I'm not saying that this isn't bad, but all I'm saying is it could definitely be worse, right?
Yeah.
What if and we never know. Maybe in the future something worse will happen. Hopefully not, but history repeats itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so what I was thinking was like, I'm thankful that this is just a virus that makes you cough
and have a fever,
right?
And not the bubonic plague,
and not something like a freaking airborne leprosy.
Right.
We're
That's
like,
what we were just
we're
talking
like,
about.
oh no, if I go outside, I might catch it and then lose my fingers and then my arms or something. Like
that
it does
movie-
suck for people like
What was it,
in the demographic that it hurts
yeah.
them, but at least like it could be
No,
worse.
it's never good that anyone is suffering, but it could be worse.
it could
like
be
like the
like-
movie The Happening. Remember that movie, The
I don't
Happening
know.
with Mark Wahlberg? He, the trees were killing people, and
Actually,
it was
dude, I
causing.
have seen that one.
Yeah, it was
No, wow.
causing people to kill themselves and stab themselves in the neck with needles and stuff. But no, it could be worse, and that doesn't belittle the fact how bad this is,
Right.
and the pain it is. But at the
I
same
agree.
time, like you said, this what if this was something that was going to end society as we know it?
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
not the case.
Right.
It's gonna.
That's
and,
what I
and- and
mean,
it
is like-
feels like it. It feels like it is, but it's not.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to do. And the news media oftentimes builds it up as there's no good hope. And we know that because we have history on our side, we know that viruses burn out. We know that they peak and then they go down. The only question we have is, when are we going to hit the top of the bell curve? I personally think we're about 2 to 3 weeks away from the top of the bell curve. And then it's going to take a few weeks. I know Lori's coughing.
I love how everyone looks at each other when they cough
Oh
now.
my
It's so
gosh.
crazy.
Like what the hell's
Got the
wrong with
virus.
this girl?
But I think that, in a few weeks we'll start to calm down and it's going to take a while to get back to normal and recover financially for everybody and emotionally for everyone. This will be a tough time for everybody, but we're here for you guys, right?
We are, for sure.
Except Lori. She's
Except
not
for Lori,
here for you.
she's-
Lori is
she's
not
there
here
for you,
She's like,
but-
fuck you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's take a couple of questions before
guys,
we
send in
get
those
out of here.
questions.
So,
Yep.
Lori, we love you, probably because you look like you're completely, oh my, what's up with Lori? Because she's literally looking like she doesn't want to be here. No, I think it's just,
I don't know
Lori's
what the
not.
hell- I don't know what the hell you're reading because I don't see that.
No, Lori's she's definitely not feeling good. And she did come in to, can you go down just a little bit for a second? I just saw one thing. Europe, England journey has
You
a
say
lot
that Germany
that-
is making the vaccine first? Is that what you...
No,
Oh, okay.
actually, I mean, I don't know if Germany will, but right now there's actually a vaccine that's already been administered to people in
Yeah.
Seattle, Washington. There's also a company in Canada that already says they have a vaccine that is in testing right now.
Amazon
And,
was working on
Amazon was working heavily. There will be a vaccine for this. The truth is that by the time the vaccine is ready, it'll probably be over.
Yeah,
That's
to be
the
honest with
downside.
you, which
But
is
at least we
unfortunate.
know that we have something for. I pay $500 for a tour with you or Noah. Thank you so much, Jillian. I appreciate it. Noah's worth it. Probably not so much me.
Yeah.
Like the movie Outbreak. It's funny. I see they're pushing a couple movies right now online that when you see like suggested, even YouTube. I've seen
Outbreak's
Outbreak
one.
was one of them.
Oh,
So
God. That was like when we came back from Moab, and on the plane ride home, I watched 127 Hours.
yeah, where it's like
So glad I didn't watch it on the
Yeah.
way there. That was crazy.
Yeah, exactly. But can you explain a little how you're going to do the virtual tours? I'm very excited about it. So essentially the virtual tours, I will explain, and maybe I haven't been clear enough about what a virtual tour is here, is that, you would get an hour, if it's an hour with me, you get an hour with me to do whatever you want me to do. It would be a Skype, it would be a FaceTime, or
Juggle.
it would be a WhatsApp. shop. We'd look at any animals. I'd answer any questions. We'd chit chat. We'd do whatever. I mean, I'm yours for the hour, whatever you want to see. If you're like, hey, go show me Perdita, we'll go look at Perdita. Or, hey, can we feed Elvis? If we have food, we feed Elvis. Whatever you want me to do for the hour, I'm yours. And that's why I was a little surprised when people thought I was way overpriced on that, because
they're just
it's and maybe some of the hate came from the fact that they thought there was going to be some like pre-recorded. This is like an hour-long Skype call with me,
which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I pay my psychiatrist $240 an hour and it's 45 minutes actually. Now, granted, she's a PhD and I'm just a fucking idiot, but but hey, whatever. So that's how the tour work. I mean, we'll look at whatever you guys want. We'll hang out with whatever you want. If you guys don't want to pay the money, then just don't. That's fine. It's not like you can either do it or you cannot do it.
Yep.
Praying for you guys, Sandy. What does Sandy mean?
No, that's just her name, I think. Maybe. Oh no, it's not.
No, Jenka.
Okay. Man, who knows?
I'm not sure. Let's see. Places here in Arkansas can hardly find rodents. It is a little scary to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they're going, but I mean, I didn't find an issue.
Yeah, some people said they were having problems with pet food, but it seems not to be the case here. So hopefully that isn't the case. We're stocked up on frozen rodents right now.
Let's not try to cause another panic.
Yeah, because what we don't want to have happen is people overbuying rodents and then having a shortage of rodents for people. Just buy what you need.
Because you said that to me, and we needed to do stuff. I reached out to regular people. They're like, oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah, but we're not going to buy 6 months worth of rodents.
No.
We're going to buy a month worth of rodents is what we need in the next month, and that's what we always do.
And this is the thing too, and I don't know how people go, is there are seasons where there's plenty, and there's seasons when there's less because of feeding cycles with the snakes.
Right, sure,
and stuff
yeah.
That too.
Right
so
now, the
happens
Kluber
every single
it
year.
happens every year. It happens every year, and some pet shops might have a problem getting stuff.
Maybe.
But are you going to do any 24-hour challenges in the new place?
Yeah, I just don't know what yet, honestly.
Probably Anaconda, no?
I feel like that has to be.
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. I have to do one soon. I have to give it thought, but they're honestly so exhausting.
They are exhausting.
They're the hardest videos to film. They're the hardest videos to edit.
Yeah.
When I'm done with them, I don't even want to touch a piece of film for a week because it's so exhausting. I've literally probably spent like 20 to 30 hours just on
the
challenge. Editing each one. Like it is so much work, guys, that it's really exhausting, honestly.
No, I get you.
It's just like,
no, I understand.
I know it's worth it to make it because people really enjoy it and they really do well, but it's just like the last thing I want to do right now while I'm quarantined is to be actually mentally exhausted as well.
No, yeah, I know. No, I agree.
So
Yeah, they can put
I'm going
on
to give it
hold.
some time, but yes, there will be another one coming. Don't you guys worry. But and I'll keep you guys updated on all of that. But
I would fix my comment about Lori if I were you. I don't know what that means. Whatever. 2-minute challenge on the unicycle.
Oh,
Good luck for that.
I couldn't even go 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Unless Jay was holding me.
Met y'all in Toronto. Thanks for the positive vibes in these dark times. You guys are fantastic. Keep up the good work. Like I said, barring any calamities, you guys will have us every day on the vlog. You'll have us every day or every week on the podcast. Wednesdays for us, Eric and Noah on Friday. So for now, and it might change to Saturday, but you guys will still get, whatever you guys do, you'll have whatever. You're going to get us a couple times a week regardless. So guys, I think that's it, man. I think we're going to shut it down. Stay safe out there. Love you guys. We are here for you. You will see me tomorrow on the vlog and every other day thereafter, unless I am dead.
You're fine.
Things are going to be good. Things are going to work out.
Random.
So
you're going to be just fine. We're all going to be just fine.
We're all going to be fine.
Let's get through it together.
So Noah, take us out, man.
Yes, thank you everybody for watching. Hope everyone enjoyed. I think we actually hit a new peak of live concurrent viewers this stream.
Thank you guys.
So
Love you guys.
Thank you guys for the support, constantly growing and stuff like that. Make sure you guys check us out. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the big things. Also go subscribe to our Clips channel just in case you missed out on some of the podcasts. We put the highlights over onto the Checking In Clips channel. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. You've been checked in and we are checking out.
Peace, guys. Love you guys. All right, good job, guys.